Can you hear me?
Let's see.
No. Test.
Okay, so we've got 1 minute to go.
No, I got you.
Where's my volume? I'm not hearing myself.
Try now.
Test. No, I have those where they need to be.
Okay.
Okay, what is this? Oh, this is a different chord. I had this.
Welcome, everyone, to Watson Stadium. It's time for Hobbs Eagle football live on Cool 95.7 and HobbsAmerica.com. Of course, we got video live for you, too, tonight as your Hobbs Eagles in game number 2 of the 24 season, taking on the Artesia Bulldogs. Ty friend Ron Gunner with you. And, Ron, this is a major game for the Hobbs Eagles to get themselves back on track after losing to Lovington last week, I should say.
Yeah.
Kind of a come-from-behind game, but they were down 17-0 early and made it a little bit more respectable towards the end of that contest, getting 13 points in the third quarter, but still lost by single digits to the Lovington Wildcats. Of course, the Wildcats, defending state champs from the lower division from last year, but Hobbs unfortunately lost that one. Now they're going to have to take on the defending state champs 2 years in a row in the 5A in Artesia.
Yeah, and once again, nothing is easy for this team, the squad, but they like that. They don't want anything easy. They want to make sure that they get a challenge. Artesia always challenges them, but for some reason, Hobbs is able to get the last 3 wins in a row here, and they're trying to make it 4-3 for Coach Stevens, but it's not going to be easy. It never is.
And also First Responders Night here, as well as Military Appreciation Night for veterans, too, and they're talking about that right now here at Watson Stadium, so we salute all those kind and very helpful folks out there around the world, in the U.S., in New Mexico, and here in Lee County and Hobbs. So they're giving a recognition to those people right now on the field. They have the big fire truck by the American flagpole right now. And everybody's looking down towards that one end zone, towards the south part of the stadium. Hobbs Eagles, of course, I mentioned losing 31-22 last week, down 17-0 in that game. And really the difference is a lot of mistakes, Ron, early especially. 5 false starts, penalties called during the game. Some bad snaps over the head of Brock Beatty, the quarterback. Some bad punt situations. Get to the red zone 4 times, score on them twice, but then the 2 of them they couldn't make it there into the end zone, and that caused some issues. And 5 turnovers, 4 interceptions, and a fumble as well back to Lovington. Now, I know that's getting negative, but the point of the matter is first game jitters, throw it out the window. It's time to get back into this game. Well,
I was told that they had a bad practice that afternoon, and it just seemed like it went into the night as well. And they had 2 snappers. Both of them had some bad occasions early in the game. Lovington jumped to a 17-0 lead early on, especially with that safety early on. And looked like Lovington was in control. Then Hobbs kind of got back a little bit. Lovington was stumbling as well during that game. In fact, they didn't score until the fourth quarter. But Hobbs had their opportunities. They just, like you said, they had 2 in the red zone. Both of those were interceptions. They had a couple other times when they were looking pretty good. They were able to move the ball down the field. They just could not continue to do so into the end zone. And that's what cost the Hobbs Eagles that victory.
And even though losing 31-22, still respectful numbers there in terms of what they got in yardage. 369 total yards against Lovington, 228 in the pass. Beatty was 14 of 26. He completed 53% of his passes. Rushing game, 141. Marion Kennedy finished with 9 carries, 101 yards, 11.2 average per carry, so that's definitely some good numbers there. And then Seamus Wright, who's just a sophomore this year, he was 6 for 53 on the ground, too, close to 9 yards a carry. So both those guys stepped up big for the 141 that they got on the ground. But 369, nothing to sneeze at, Ron, even though you do get a loss out of it.
Exactly. And once again, both sides had some great things that they took advantage of. Hobbs got all their mistakes done in the first half and started getting a whole lot better in the second quarter or in the third quarter and the fourth quarter, but just could not get it to go into their favor all the way. And I think they're going to learn from those mistakes. They're not going to do them again tonight. Artesia, though, is going to be very difficult to not make the mistakes on. You got to be dominant. You got to be aggressive, and I know both sides are going to do that. They're going to try some different things as well, so maybe they'll work, maybe they won't. So whoever is dominant and efficient is going to be the one who's probably going to walk away with a victory tonight.
Now, although losing to Lovington, they did outdistance the Wildcats in terms of yardage, 369 to 309. The passing department for Lovington, they were 21 of 28 for 230, 3 touchdowns in the air. On the rushing game, just 79 yards and 1 touchdown. But that was enough for Lovington to get that victory. Again, 31 to 22, so 309 total yards of offense. Tristan Davis was the leader in terms of tackles for the Eagles defense, 13 of those, 2 of them for losses, and a couple other double-digit tacklers as well, Baeza and Diaz-Castro. Of course, Diaz-Castro, returner from last year, so same with Baeza at the linebacking core. So those guys, those 3 combined for 33 total tackles in the contest. And Hobbs, another respectable stat, too. They had 14 tackles for loss against Lovington. So it's kind of hard to figure that out. But the mistakes, I think, is really the different factor there that really put the Wildcats over the top.
Absolutely was. Just the early momentum helped a lot, especially in the third quarter when Hobbs looked like they were going to come back, just like last year they did as well against Leamington. Made it close, but just could not quite get past that offside, that big difference as far as points, but came close. This year, I think Hobbs can learn from these mistakes, can be able to get back into the game, and definitely will make the most out of it tonight.
Could have a real good spread of receivers on this offensive squad for the Eagles. In fact, quite a few guys catching passes in that game. The leader was Justice French, 5 catches for 55 yards, so he definitely helped out in that passing game. 45 for Henry. Also, Beatty, the brother of the quarterback, he had 38 yards on 4 receptions. And we're going to get the national anthem started here at Watson Stadium. We'll take a 90-second break and come back with more Hobbs Eagle football versus Artesia on Cool 95.7 and HobbsAmerica.com. Welcome back to Watson Stadium. Ty friend Ron Gunner with you. Hobbs Eagle football live on HobbsAmerica.com on the internet and on the radio Cool 95.7. Hobbs versus Artesia tonight. Hobbs Eagle fight song going on right now at Watson. The marching band is taking care of that. Last week, Artesia with the big win over Carlsbad, 44-7. Isaac Caceres, who is their starting quarterback this year, the senior, was a wide receiver last year, put him up behind the line of scrimmage, and he had 4 touchdown passes last week in that big win for 329 yards, 1 interception, and 1 rushing touchdown to his name. Also hooked up with one of their receivers, Ethan Kahn. He had an 87-yard touchdown play, 2 touchdowns for him, 5 catches, 148 yards for Kahn. That's definitely somebody that the Hobbs Eagles secondary defense is going to have to be ready for, is that Kahn kid. He was here last year. He's back again this year, can catch the football and get up the field. But not just the passing game for this Artesia team. Frankie Galindo, the guy that had 4 rushing touchdowns against the Eagles last year, in the win against Carlsbad last week, he also was a guy to go to as well, had a couple of touchdowns on the ground for that squad. 50 yards on the ground, not tons of numbers there, but he is such an elusive guy that gets away from people, slips through the cracks, gets up for big yardage, and we did see that last year at their home place there at the Bulldog Bowl.
Exactly, and one of the things that Hobbs has a slow start on is stopping the run, especially up the middle. The line seems to get past the line and goes into the secondary, but as the game progresses, Hobbs does get smarter. They get plays smarter and harder, and the runs become less and less and less. So Artesia's got to take advantage of that early if they want to get any kind of momentum in this game.
In that championship year last year for Artesia, Galindo, the running back, had 1,144 rushing yards, 25 touchdowns, 4 games of 100-plus. So he's definitely a force to be reckoned with for the Bulldog offense. But taking a look at the defense last week for Artesia, they allowed only 117 total offense for Carlsbad, 117 yards, 98 in the pass, and very little in the rushing game. Only 1 touchdown scored by the Cavemen. So they had some issues, and Artesia taking care of business as well. So they just completely shut down. That's kind of a rival game between the two teams out of the same, pretty close to each other, about 25 minutes apart from each other down the road. So it's always a tough one, but really Artesia took care of them. That was at their home field, though, at the Bulldog Bowl.
Exactly, it was at the Bulldog Bowl. You know, Carlsbad usually is a running team first and second and third, and even the quarterback usually runs. So they don't get a whole lot of passing yards no matter who it is down there. But, of course, things change, and this time around they just could not get the offense going. I do know that they won yesterday, so they have some momentum going after that first week. They came back and won the second game.
Now, of course, last year Artesia's quarterback was Nia Estrada, again a champion from the Bulldogs, 2,417 yards passing, 29 touchdown hookups for the Bulldogs. Of course, we said he has turned the reins over to Isaac Caceres, who's one of his receivers last year. Caceres saw limited action at quarterback a little bit last year as a backup, 20 of 29 in the passing game for 295, 4 touchdowns as he hooked up with receivers, and 1 interception. So he was averaging about 19.8 yards on the passes he did complete to his receivers in that season. But, of course, most of the time was at wide receiver. So he's back. Frankie Galindo's back. Ethan Kahn is back. And a little bit different look for Caceres at the quarterback position, but still a lot of offensive threats. And you take a look at the Hobbs Eagle defense, that's who's going to have to be ready to play in this season. Last year, I should say, Tristan Davis finished with 9 tackles against Artesia. He's back. He's the kind of the leading anchor for that linebacking core. 127 tackles last year for the Hobbs Eagles, led the team in wrap-ups, and majority of those were solo tackles. He doesn't need a lot of help. He's going to take you down himself.
He is fast and strong and knows how to tackle, and one of the reasons why Hobbs did so well late in the season, got back to that 5-5 record, 6-6 overall after the postseason.
Yeah, and he did have the 13 wrap-ups against Lovington last week. Again, a majority of those solos, 7 out of the 13, and 2 for losses. So you got to keep him moving around a little bit, which Artesia can do because they've got so many threats, especially in the flats. On the passing game, they can throw little post routes down the middle. So the linebacking core keeps having to adjust, and so, same thing with the corners and the safeties. It puts the linebackers in a bad position because then they also have to worry about Galindo, the running back.
Exactly, but both sides, both defenses have an offensive quarterback that can do throwing as well as running. So he's a dual threat on both sides. The defenses are definitely not going to be able to sleep on this one. They got to keep their heads on a swivel.
Looking at the Hobbs Eagles offense, you definitely got to look at those people that have had some experience on this squad from the past years. And we did mention Beatty. He did start the first few games of the season. Again, Callaway came in. Owen Callaway, the senior, took his position at the starting spot there after a while. And one thing that Beatty was having a little bit of issues with, he was a youngster last year, of course, was the interception. We did see 4 of those last week against Lovington. Basically got to worry about the settling down nature of the quarterback, you know, when you're trying to mature as a player back in the backfield, not getting happy feet, you know, getting the back foot set when you're throwing, extending the arm out there to where you're letting loose of the football, and not unloading those footballs just to get rid of them, because that's going to be blood in the water for Artesia's secondary. They're not the type of people that just kind of look the other way when mistakes are being made.
No, definitely. They cause mistakes. They don't look away from mistakes. You're right about that. In fact, that's one of those situations where Brock is going to definitely have to go back, make sure he sets his feet, sees his receiver, and trusts that he'll be there at the route. I say one of the problems that I saw last week was a couple of times the route runners stopped when they're supposed to keep running, and the ball sailed over their head. A couple of times that happened. Didn't happen too often, but just often enough that you notice that they needed to be on the same page. So hopefully tonight they got their timing right, and they'll be able to get those patterns done correctly.
Beatty passed for 172 yards last year, did start against Artesia, did get a touchdown against him, a 42-6 loss, and for the season, he had 49 passes completed, 653 yards. I believe that went through about 3 or 4 games as a starter until Callaway took the reins, as I mentioned, from them. But so definitely a chance for the Eagles to show something in this one. Last year, Artesia 536 yards of total offense, Hobbs at 275, but they had 5 turnovers, 4 interceptions, and a fumble. And as of last week's game, the turnovers were an issue too. That's just a mental game. A lot of times you just got to take care of the football. You can't put that arm out there like a breadbasket. You got to protect it near the sideline to make sure the ball is outside, so if it gets knocked out, it goes out of bounds. Those type of things you teach your players out there. But they're on their home turf, and they want to show something in front of this home crowd.
Exactly.
Hobbs Eagles taking on the Artesia Bulldogs. We'll take a quick 1-minute break. Get ready as the Eagles kneel down in the end zone. Black uniforms, gold numbers. Artesia in the white with the black numbers and orange trim. We're back in 60 seconds. Getting ready for the kickoff here at Watson Stadium. Game number 2 of the 24th season. Hobbs versus Artesia, the home team, the Eagles. They will be kicking off from the 40-yard line to get this one started. As referees getting the ball out on the field and getting the ball set up and ready to go for Hobbs.
The sun is blocked behind the clouds, so it's a perfect time to start this game and see who's going to win this one for the military appreciation as well as first responders night.
Fabian Astorga will kick off for Hobbs, number 88 from the Eagle 40-yard line to get this one going. The defense going to be ready here momentarily. Hobbs Eagle Band getting fired up here at Watson Stadium. Live on Cool 95.7 radio, HobbsAmerica.com, and video on the internet. Thanks to Ron taking care of the tech and the talk, too, at the same time. Very hard to do, of course. Up way high here in the stadium press box. A little bit of a delay before we get this kick going. And here goes Galindo, and he's going to sail it end over end. Going to go back to the 10-yard line, caught at the hash mark. Or with a handoff going around the left end, around the 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50. Can go all the way, 40, 35. A Hobbs Eagle territory and knocked out at the 34-yard line out of the starburst. They had all those people converging together. And the man that returned it long up the far left sideline for Artesia for the orange and black was Jet Whitmire. Looked like he came up hurt after that. That was starting from the 10-yard line. So about a 52-yard return into Hobbs Eagle territory to get it started. Starburst is what you always expect from Artesia when they have all those guys converging together on the return of the football before they take off up the field. And that time just used the far left sideline in front of the Artesia bench for 52 return yards.
Yeah, Artesia JV used it the other day, and they used it today. Got, of course, another great gain.
Isaac Caceres, the quarterback from the Eagle 37-yard line to get this one started here at Watson Stadium. Hobbs will put 3 in the front box. Back to pass. They're going to throw the little slant route. Caught at the 30, 25, 20, and drugged down at the 20-yard line. So going from the 38 to the 20, that's an 18-yard pickup after quick snag. And coming up with that catch for Artesia was Ethan Kahn, the guy we talked about in the pregame show. You got to watch him. He's always going to have the hands ready. Trips left, 2 receivers right. Back to shotgun as Caceres. Single setback. We got a flag down. Quick on the line of scrimmage. Looks like one of the big kids from Artesia got somersaulted at the right side of the line. Stephen Williams, the center. False start's going to be called. We've got a major echo at the referee microphone up here in the press box. That's the first penalty of the game for Artesia. And they'll have to reset here back at the 25. 1st and 15 in the Eagles side of the field after that long 52-yard return on the starburst on the kickoff.
And that's what happens when you got a quick setting offense. Is sometimes you got somebody moving, trying to adjust, and it doesn't work out in time.
Caceres back to pass it with himself in the backfield with the little curl route off the fingertips at the 15. Trying to turn back around to make the catch for Artesia, and it bounced off his fingers was Diego Lopez. So incomplete, 2nd down and 15.
Just could not find his receiver on that one. But again, maybe Artesia just trying to go too much too soon. They need to slow down a little bit if they want to get more of a rhythm.
Of course, Caceres can understand what the receiver spot is like. He played there last year, one of the top receivers on the team. He puts 2 receivers left, 1, and make it now 2 to the right. So balance at the receiving core. One in the backfield is Galindo. 2-step drop. The pass on the out route. High shot to the 15. Run out of bounds, far left sideline. That might be close to a first down. They need to get 15, but it looks like at least 12 of that on that far sideline. And the man to catch that is going to be Fuentes to make the catch. So he'll get 12 on that one.
Just short, about 2 to 3 yards for 3rd down.
1 for 2 in the passing game right now. 3rd and 2, as you mentioned. They're going to go with the quick shot to the left sideline. Caught at the 10, shake and bake, and break it across the 8. And that will be a first down, it appears, for 5 that time. And a quick reset for Artesia, which is what we hate as announcers up here. You don't get a chance to even get the spot, as that'll be Jack Byers who gets 5 on the play.
It looks like about the 8-yard line, maybe the 7, but either way, 1st and goal for the Artesia Bulldogs.
The shotgun high. Caceres going to tuck and go around the left end up to the 5 and tries to throw his body to the sideline. Gets about 3 on the carry for Caceres. First rush of the ball game for Artesia as they inch closer towards the end zone. Still scoreless with 10:30 left here in the first quarter.
But Artesia trying to make quick work as they are on the 5-yard line right now.
Twins right, double receivers left as well. Caceres back in the shotgun with Galindo on his left shoulder. 2-step drop, fires it right corner of the end zone. High tip in the air. 2 Hobbs Eagle defenders get a mid on it, and it bounces toward the back end zone. Pass was intended to the right corner, and stepping up hard and getting up high in the air. I believe that was Amarian Kennedy playing some D out there. I got the couple of guys that were jumping towards. Another man in the area that might have got a piece of it instead for Hobbs was Adrian Mora, the DB. So a couple of guys getting a piece of that one. A hard shot from Caceres in that right corner. Ball sailed to the back line.
Good to see Mora. He was down for a moment last week, so I'm glad he's back again in action.
Caceres stays in the pocket, throws a slant route, a ricochet off the hands of the receiver at the goal line. And that should have been a catch for a touchdown, but receiver got kind of stuck in the traffic there and ricocheted off his forearms.
I think he got there before he was expecting it. It hit his chest plate and just bounced right off.
That's an incomplete for the Bulldogs, as that pass was intended for the orange and black to Jack Byers. They are now 2 for 5 in the passing game, or make that 3 for 5 for 35 yards. 4th and goal now from about the 5-yard line. Trips right, pair of receivers left, Caceres by himself in the backfield. Long count, back to the 10, he's gonna fire it. A little crossing route to the right side of the end zone. The catch is made and a touchdown. That's gonna be a 6-yard snag as Artesia gets on the board first with the pass.
Indeed it was. 5 yards for the touchdown, got it perfectly in there, and Artesia made that look easy.
Yeah, that's gonna be Ethan Kahn, 5-yarder. He's got 2 catches for 23 yards. They are now 4 of 7 in the passing game. Quick as you can say, touchdown. It is now 6-0 with 10:08 left first quarter. Getting a late guy on the field for the PAT. They like to run that swinging game where they load up the left side and they stall and then move everybody over to the right. And that's what they're doing right now.
Exactly.
Everybody adjusting from left to right. And looks like they're going to go for the PAT kick here. And that'll be marked back at the 10-yard line. A little bit of time here for the snap. It's good. The kick is up. And it's going to be inside the right upright for point number 7. As it goes through and converted for the Artesia Bulldogs by Corbin Dominguez. 10:08 left in the first quarter. Artesia on the scoreboard first, 7-0. We'll come back in 60 seconds on the Hobbs Eagle Network. shoulder to shoulder for the defender for the Hobbs Eagles was Marari Orozco, the DB. Second down and 10 for the 42 of the Eagles. Casara's going to roll left. Gets running into his running back and is thrown down by the arm to the 50-yard line. Eagles getting in there quickly. That's going to be a big loss on that one. And we'll see how many they're going to drop him on that. But Tristan Davis, the linebacker, the man that takes care of business there. Loss of 8 on the play for Artesia.
And defense on Hobbs' side looking good on that play. They need to do that more often, be able to get that quarterback in the backfield and be able to take him down for a huge loss.
Gordon, he had 131 tackles last year for the Eagles, leading the team. Third down and 18 now from the 50 for Artesia. Caceres by himself in the backfield, trips right, twins left, two-step drop. He's going to fire it down the middle, the seam route. Ball's intercepted by the Eagles at the 22, and a somersault after that. Coming up with a pick for Hobbs is Adrian Mora. So that will stop the drive for Artesia.
And that'll be a shot in the arm that the Hobbs Eagles needed. They needed something good. Definitely a defensive interception is on the money on that one. Now let's see if the Hobbs offense can get their ball rolling and get some offense going.
4 for 9 in the passing game for Artesia, but Hobbs Eagle football now, their second possession now at the 23 of their own. They trail 7-0 here in the first, 6:41 remaining. Hobbs Eagle football live on Cool 95.7 on the radio and HobbsAmerica.com on the internet with video. Twins right, one receiver left. Back in shotgun is Beatty. Has Kennedy behind him. Bring a man in motion from right to left for the Eagles. That's Braddock Beatty, his brother. Fires down the middle on the quick look, and the ball gets tipped up in the air off the slant. Almost intercepted by Artesia. That was such a hard shot to the hands of the receiver. Didn't really have much of a chance to pull that thing down. Intended for Beatty. Incomplete.
It looked like it was going to be intercepted after all, but again, hard throw just went in and out of the defensive hands of the Artesia Bulldog.
Yeah, it looked like it almost had a double chance to be intercepted there in the secondary. Hobbs now 0 for 2 in the passing game, and they have 2 carries for -17, both with Kennedy, so they got to get some offense generated quickly. Twins left and right. Beatty going to get the hard snap count here. Looks at both sides of the field, takes a snap, 3-step drop back of the 15, fires it down the middle, seam, and the ball's caught up on the shoulder. No, it's dropped as he hit the ground at the 45 near sideline. Kind of a fade over to the left. Pass was intended for Gabriel Henry, but could not come down with it. And Kennedy, or make that Gabriel Henry, has a little bit of size out there too, 6'3", 200 pounds.
Yeah, he definitely had the place. However, he just could not get the ball into his hands in time, but it would have been very acrobatic if he had a very athletic move.
Of course, his grandfather is one of the judges here in Hobbs, Willie Henry.
Great guy.
Third down and 10 for the Eagles at their own 23-yard line. Shotgun, Beatty, handoff, crossing over to Kennedy, right side, 25, 30, 35, 40, 50. He can go all the way. 40, left hash, 30, 25, 20, 15, 10, and brought down from behind at the 10-yard line. Unbelievable run. Kennedy cut right, then up the middle for a big, big run. And we'll check the numbers on that. 57, 62, about 65 yards for Kennedy. That definitely gets him in the plus column now in terms of the rush.
And the first down for the Hobbs Eagles in this game, huge for the team as they're keeping their momentum going, and they're just going to keep moving forward.
Clock running with 6 minutes left, first quarter. Hobbs trailing 7-0 to Artesia. Back of the 12-yard line, heading in toward the end zone, the Eagles. Shotgun, Beatty's got 3 guys around him. Handoff up the middle. Kennedy spins at the 10, cuts up the middle 5, and brought down at the 3-yard line. So he went from about the 13 down to the 3. Looks like they might have get him a first down here. Let's say hopefully 10 here, maybe not, maybe just 9. His knee went down, it appears. Close to another first down, but just barely short.
Yeah, it's going to be about 2 yards, maybe even not even that much, maybe even a yard short of that first down marker, so they can make a first down without having to do the touchdown, but it's very close.
At the 3-yard line, shotgun, back to pass Beatty, pump fakes, throws it down the middle of the end zone, diving attempt. Did it get underneath or not? Near the back line, official going to say no and hit the turf. No, wait, they changed the call, and he says touchdown. Gabriel Henry with the score near the back line. He had to dig his mitts onto the turf and kind of fell forward. The official just kind of stared at him. That gets the Artesia coaching staff, Coach Moppet, out on the field, wanting to know what the call was there. And they're going to go with the touchdown. Eagles score a 3-yarder to Henry.
And I believe what the thing was is he was making sure that he had control of the ball, looked at him for a moment, made sure that the ball was in his hands and not on the ground. Once he saw that that was the case, he indicated a touchdown. 6 points for the Hobbs Eagles.
Eagles going to try to tie it up with the PAT. Very important kick here. They're going to fake it, a roll right, looking for pass. They're going to throw it deep right corner of the end zone, and a somersault catch, touchdown, or making a 2-point conversion as connecting was Benton Lee. He was the holder. He rolls to the right side, and he's going to convert that pass in the end zone to Isaiah Rodriguez for 2 points. The Eagles have a 1-point lead.
And something we talked about was the fact that both sides were going to be aggressive. Hobbs coming out on that one being very aggressive, taking a chance and getting the lead, not just the tie, but the lead. 8-7 is the score right now.
And the first completion of the game, but that one from Benton Lee, not normally a quarterback, he converts. 5:17 left, first quarter. Hobbs 8, Artesia 7, back in 60 on the Hobbs Eagle Network. Eagles try a pooch kick over to the near right sideline, going from right to left on the radio dial there, and Brock Beatty gets it, or make it Braddock Beatty, gets it to about the 29-yard line, brought back for the Artesia Bulldogs by Caleb Murray. So Artesia will have the ball possession at the 29 of their own. They trail Eagles 8-7 after Hobbs converting on a 9-yard touchdown, or making a 4-yard touchdown run, and then a 2-point conversion. Or actually a pass play, I should say, for a touchdown first. Artesia going to go around the left end, and they're going to head to the far left sideline to Artesia's side of the field. A late flag coming out. Hopefully not going to be a personal foul called out there.
Yeah, those late flags, for unintentional hitting or just whatever can mess up a whole drive or continue it going depending on which side it goes to.
Wait to see the official. They're getting together on this one.
But Artesia moving back, so apparently it is against them. But we still haven't gotten the official word yet. Here, it should be coming here in a second.
Flag came out in front of the Artesia bench. Personal foul going to be against Artesia. Oh, they got one against the Eagles too.
Offsetting.
It's going to be second down. I guess they gave him no yards on that play. It was Caceres rolling to the left, so personal fouls erase both. Oh, actually, no, they're going to give him some more than just no yards there. That looks like more like 5. So that will be 5-yard pickup for Caceres, the quarterback, and brings up a second down. Make it more like 4, second down and 6. A lot of confusion in the backfield. Everybody's changing positions. They got 4 receivers stacked up on the right side. Shotgun Caceres with a little screen to the right side. Dipping through some defenders, heading to the near sideline is Frankie Galeno, the running back, out to the 39. He's going to get about 6 on the play. And he got it wrapped up quickly for the Eagles by Adrian Mora.
Yeah, it looked like there was a lot of, like you said, stacked up on the right side. Now maybe they're going to go to the left. Looks like they will with 4 receivers to the left.
Back to the 39. Going to be a 4th down. Or wait, no, they gave him a first on that. Now they got the chains that are stuck over on the far sideline. The official forgot to move them forward. That will be a first down. 4 first downs for Artesia now at their own 39-yard line. They trail Hobbs 8-7 with 4:35 remaining here in the first.
That gave Hobbs a little time to look at the offense.
4 receivers left, screen to the left side. There's Galeno, met in the backfield at the 34. He's going to lose yards on the play, and about 6 lost on that one.
So, yeah, at least 4 yards lost on that one right there.
And dancing around to make the stop coming in the backfield was Marari Orozco. So Galeno now 0 in terms of pass receptions. Kind of 6-yarder going right on the little screen. Now -6 on that one. And now they're going to face a second down and 4. Back to pass. Caceres throws it way down the near sideline, but intercepted by the Eagles. Second INT in the ball game on the left side in front of the Hobbs Eagle bench. A very lucky side of the field. as a pickoff for the Eagles, taking a snag in the air by Merari Orozco. 2 big plays on that series for Orozco.
And just like that, you get a couple interceptions for Hobbs, and they're looking a whole lot better than they did last week, and making Artesia sweat a little bit, and it's still early in the game.
3:58 left first quarter. 2 interceptions for the Eagles. They lead 8-7. They'll come out of their huddle on the sideline up to the field at the 43 on the left hash. They'll send 2 receivers right, 1 to the left side, and back to the shotgun goes Beatty. He's got Kennedy behind him. Kennedy had that 65-yard run in the last series. 5 in the box for Artesia. The pitch right, coming to Kennedy, stretches out 40. 45, gets his knees taken out hard. He gets 3 up the field to the right. So Kennedy now with a total of 5 carries and has 60 yards on the grounds already here in the first quarter. We're only 3:40 left in it.
Yeah, and so far Hobbs is using a lot of yardage as far as getting that yardage for their running game. Still packing it in and getting it to move forward.
Twins right and left for the Eagles in the receiving core. Long count on this one. Back to pass Beatty. 2-step drop. Stays pocket. Dumps it in the right flat. Caught at the 49. And a shuffle step to the 50. Looks like about 4 or 5 out deep on the far sideline.
Yep.
And that's Kennedy's going to get 4 on that one. Kennedy's first catch of the ball game for 4 yards. 2 for 4 now in the passing game for the Eagles. Actually make it 3 for 5, They have completed on 10 in terms of the passing game yardage.
And
3rd down and 3 now for the Eagles with 2:55 and ticking here in the first quarter, leading by 1 over Artesia.
This is the Hobbs team I saw a couple of weeks ago against scrimmage against this Artesia team. They were able to get the ball moving forward. They had some small plays, they had some big plays, but they were always able to move the ball forward.
Actually, it was against Goddard in that
that's
scrimmage.
right. That's right. It was a team that was tough, and I always get those two confused.
Trips left, receiver right. There's going to be a stoppage. Coach Stevens calls a timeout. Does not want the play to go as they kind of check to see what the defense is going to give them from the orange, black, and white. 2:35 left first quarter. Our first timeout here is your Hobbs Eagles. Lead Artesia 8-7, facing a 3rd and 3 at the 50. We're back in half a minute. Back to first quarter action here at Watson Stadium. Hobbs Eagle football live on HobbsAmerica.com and YouTube. Also Cool 95.7. Eagle football trips left, receiver right. 3rd down and 3 from the 50, right hash. Beatty and shotgun, Kennedy behind him. 2-step drop. He has pressure. Throws it on the back foot and sails it short to the far right sideline of the 35. Short of his receiver. He had so much pressure, he just wanted to get rid of that football. And the intended man out there for the Eagles was Justice French on that far right in front of the Artesia bench. He was trying to get out to the 35, but the ball sails low to the ground, incomplete.
Yeah. Beatty had to pick himself up after that when he got hit after he released the ball unfortunately for an incompletion.
Big decision here on a 4th and 3 from the 50. Shotgun to Beatty. No, he's just going to punt it away. Nobody back deep for Artesia. Takes a hard hit to the 12 on that far left sideline in front of Artesia's bench, and just pretty much scooped up by the Eagles. No return in the area whatsoever. Man that comes up with it for the Eagles, Braddock Beatty, which is good coverage for him. And now Artesia going to get their offense back on the field, but they've been suffering 2 interceptions here in this first quarter, Ron.
Yeah, but Hobbs was able to take advantage of the first one, not able to take advantage of the second one. So Artesia dodges a bullet in that sense. Now they're back on the field and see if they can get their offense moving.
Of course, the 2 interceptions coming from Mora and Orozco for the Eagles. 4 receivers right, all stacked up. 1 to the left for Artesia. Casares by himself in the backfield. Tucks and goes up the gap. Cuts left, tries to spin to the 20. A flag late in the backfield, so probably a hold or a block in the back somewhere. Let's see what we got going on here. That's going to be at least a 6 or 7 yard run on that, but it looks like the Eagles' front D is applauding right now, so that's a good sign for Hobbs.
Yeah, it is, and it was a hold. You were correct about that. You know, it's so many times when you see a team do that, get positive yardage only to have something happen to them that they gets them back, and they have to do it all over again, only deeper in their own territory.
From where the flag was thrown, it looks like it's close to the line of scrimmage. That will be a 10-yard penalty for Artesia. That is their second for 15 total.
Actually, isn't it half the distance?
Well, no. It was past the 10. Yeah, right. It was half the distance. You're correct. That got moved up to the what, 6?
Right. It's about the 6 or 7 yard line right now.
About 6 yard on the penalty there. Caceres by the goal line, shotgun. Looks left, throws it quickly on a little curl route. Caught at the 15, down to the 20. And it's going to get back some of the penalty yardage and then some.
But another flag on the play.
12 yards on the catch there on the far left sideline of the curl.
Let's see what happens this time.
Catch was made by Diego Lopez. Orozco the man to wrap him up.
But this time it's on Hobbs. It was a face mask.
At the head moved around. That might be a 15-yarder tack on. Was that enough for the first down before that, though, is the question. Yeah, they had it at the 27. Whoa. Well, they got a horrible echo from the referee's mic. It's blasting the... I guess they just gave him a 5-yarder on that one. So a 12-yard pickup for Lopez. That'll move the chains on the penalty as well. 5 first downs for Artesia. That'll be a 5-yard penalty on the Eagles on the incidental face mask. Shotgun Caceres from the 27, rolls out to the right side, tucks it, cuts back to the right hash, 30, 35, and rolled around to the 38-yard line. Not as lateral running that time, but gets ahead for looks like another 10. So Caceres going to move the chains again on the run. 6 first downs, and he's got 9 yards on 4 carries at quarterback.
Yeah, Artesia keeping it on the ground, getting some success finally, able to avoid those interceptions.
At the 38-yard line on the right hash. Trips left, receiver right. Rolling left to Caceres. He wants to throw. Shuffles left. Pump fakes. He's going to try to tuck it. He's dumped at the 29. Dropped hard in the backfield. They lose about 9 yards on that one, depending on where they spot it. Might have been Tristan Davis that got in there that time, looks like, the linebacker.
Yeah, defense is looking fierce for Hobbs so far. They are confusing the route runners as well as the quarterback, trying to make him second-guess himself, and that one cost him a sack.
That was a sack, yes, for Tristan Davis. And that'll bring it down to 2nd down and 19 now for Artesia at their own 30-yard line. They trail 8-7 to Hobbs with 52 left in the first. Low snap, Caceres dumps it in the right flat, but it's rejected in the backfield. Hobbs Eagles get a big mid on it. Chasing him was Amron Wheeler that got in there. The DN, 6'3", 215. The big wall coming at Caceres in the backfield.
Exactly, got knocked down in the backfield. Never had a chance to get out of the outfield or backfield. So, yeah, Artesia, another try around to see if they can get the ball moving forward.
3rd down and 19 for the Bulldogs at the 30 of the orange and black on the left hash. Eagles have got pass prevent going on now with just 2 on the front line at this point. Make it 3. Trips right, receiver left for Artesia. Rolling right is Caceres on the throw. He's going to go the out route. Low down to the 39. The catch is made. They'll be well short back to the original line of scrimmage. And that'll be about a 9-yard pickup. As coming up with it for Artesia on the snag was Ethan Kahn, their top receiver. He's got 3 catches for 32 yards, but well short of the first down. It'll be a 9 yards is what they're going to need to get into Hobbs, or get to the 48 is where they need to go.
Yeah, that was a nice 10-yard gain, but they needed 19, so it doesn't quite help, especially when you're in 4th down. So they're going to try to see if Hobbs will jump.
4th down and 9 from their own 39 for Artesia. Trips left, 2 receivers right. Looks like Caceres will take a high snap. He's going to punt 2 from the right hash. A wobbler down the middle of the field. Caught by the Eagles at the 45, 50, and spun around and thrown down in Hobbs territory, or in Artesia territory at the 45. Kind of a wobbler of a punt down the middle of the field. The big fingertips grabbing it down. Jacob Diaz. I bet he felt some zinging on those fingertips as he ripped that one down. Actually, that might have been, it was either a 5 or a 6. Mirari Orozco might have been the guy that had it. I can't tell, but the number got all crunched up there. But I might have stick with Diaz, the originator on that one. So let's give it to the Eagles at the 46-yard line. Hobbs in Artesia territory. That was the first punt of the game for the Bulldogs.
And it didn't work out as well as they hoped it would. They were trying to get them deep in their own territory. Did not happen. Hobbs in good field position.
15 seconds left, opening quarter. Hobbs up 8-7. The delay handoff to Kennedy on the right hash 40. Bumps through one defender and throws his body flat forward as he gets a couple extra. He's going to get 8. So Kennedy definitely moving it forward. His last 3 have been positive as well. He's got 85 in the last 4 carries. That's going to run out the first quarter clock as well. So Hobbs will face a 2nd and 2 when we come back in the second quarter, currently at the Artesia 38-yard line. We'll take a break. Hobbs up 8-7 over Artesia. We're back in 60 seconds on the Hobbs Eagle Network. We're ready for second quarter action here at Watson Stadium. Ty friend Ron Gunner with you. Your Hobbs Eagles leading Artesia, the two-time defending state champs, back-to-back, 8-7 after a couple interceptions of Artesia passes. Hobbs moving into the Bulldog territory right now at the 38-yard line on the right hash, leading by 1. A second down and about, looks like they would give them about a yard. No, wait, the chains are not yet set over there. Looked like they had a yard to go, but one of the chains has still not been moved forward. So we'll wait to see what we got going on here. They had a couple of issues over that far sideline to get him set in the right position.
Yeah, it's one of those simple things. You would think that the chains would just be automatic, but sometimes there is a delay just because of that.
Well, Kennedy had an 8-yard run, and it's saying second down and 8. I think it should be second down and 2.
I think so, too. Yeah, I think there's a little confusion because they did switch sides, and they did not do that correctly. I think that's the reason why we got a delay right now.
Look at the Hobbs coaching staff. Coach Stevens out in the field remembering that Kennedy just had the big run for 8.
Right, and they did not make 2 yards. He made 8 yards, and you've got the sticks in the wrong place.
Yep, they have it marked. The first down would have to be at the 30, but now the Whitecaps going to have a discussion with the official on that far sideline, and that's exactly what you don't want to happen early if you're the referee crew, is have a chain mistake like this. You just got to go back to the stats, and it is Kennedy with an 8-yard run. And now the officials going to have to talk about this. And, you know, it's kind of a bad situation, too, because as officials, you get a lot of plays in your head, and you're trying to, scramble through all those and try to remember what happened 5 minutes ago. And then you have a break after that. It's not easy to do.
I know, and you're just flipping sides, and most people would think that would be easy, but sometimes, the simplest things can be complicated. That's why, I always say kiss it.
Basically, they have to move the back chain back further.
Exactly. Now they're doing that. Now they're moving the right side over. They had it on the wrong end, so now they've got it to where second down and 2.
You need to get to the Artesia 36-yard line instead of the 30. And that is a second down and 2, as you mentioned, at the 38 of the Bulldogs. Hobbs up 8-7. Start of the second quarter here. Good job for the Hobbs Eagle coaching staff coming out on the field and getting the conference with the Whitecap official to get this set properly. Beatty back to shotgun, a staggered eye backfield, kind of bunched around him now. He's got a Kennedy behind him. Two-step drop. Beatty in the pocket, but he's going to get hit hard at the knees and drop. He'll lose a lot on this one, about 9 yards. Artesia not messing around on that. They got some blitzing going on there, and coming through hard was Hayden Harcrow, the strong safety on that deep blitz.
Yeah, and it went from a positive experience back to a negative again for the Hobbs Eagles. Got to get back into this, but they still have plenty of time as they just made one mistake so far, and Artesia took advantage of it.
Unfortunately, a hard shot to the knees, that one on Beatty as he tried to back up with the pass. Second down to make it third down and 11 now. Lost 9 on the play. Back at the 47, still in Artesia territory on the right hash. Twins left and right for the Eagles in the receiving core. Shotgun to Beatty. Fakes the handoff to Kennedy. Fires the little dump to the right side. Caught at the 41-yard line. That's going to be a 6-yard pickup. And coming up with the catch for the Eagles near the Eagle bench, Braddock Beatty, his brother, connects on that one.
Exactly, and that was caught in stride, but unfortunately there was a defender there. Otherwise, he could have gotten that first down.
Be fourth down, and looks like 3 now for the Eagles on the right hash, 40 of the Artesia Bulldogs. So that big sack in the backfield off the blitz really caused them a lot of negative yardage there that now they're going to have to try to regain. Fourth down and 4 now from the 40. Waiting for the shotgun is Beatty, right between 2 of his running backs. 3-step drop, stays pocket, fires down the middle, and then curl around. Ball's caught just across the first down marker. That's going to be for 5. They needed 4. What a beautiful job of coming back to the football on that right hash to make the snag. Justin French, big-time catch for him.
He's a big guy, and he knew he was going to get it as soon as he got the ball, and he did. But not before he got the first down. That's exactly what Hobbs wanted, and they got it.
And that'll be the 5th reception of the ball game. 5 for 7 right now in the passing game for Beatty, the quarterback. 3 first downs now at the Artesia 35. 10-13 left. Shotgun here in the second quarter. Pump fake. He's going to throw the fade on the near sideline over the shoulder, but it's intercepted at the 2 near the goal line up the near side. 10, 15 on the return. 20, 25, 30, and brought back. That's about a 25-yard return after the INT. And that's the first turnover for the Eagles. The pickoff for Artesia down near the goal line. That was Tootie McNeil, the cornerback.
And McNeil had him stride for stride. It should have been a great pass play, but unfortunately it just did not get to the receiver and fell short, and that's the reason why it was an interception.
Oh, we got a penalty on the return back. Artesia will get the INT. I may have a block in the back is what they're going to get called on. So that's another penalty for Artesia. They've had 3 so far for 20 yards total. But Hobbs was moving that ball down the field, and unfortunately that ball a little bit overthrown in a pickoff there about the 5-yard line. And a nice little return, but it's brought back on 10 because of the block in the back.
Yeah, and unfortunately that's exactly what happens when, you do a mistake and it just throws your rhythm off. And they're still having trouble over the sidelines trying to get the first down marker.
Oh, yeah, this has been about the 3rd stoppage because of the sticks. And you guarantee the ref's going to have a 2 session in that locker room and get that thing straightened out. Twins right and left for Artesia's receivers. Caceres in the shotgun. Hands it to Galindo on the cross, 20, 25 at the middle, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, left hash, 40, Hobbs territory, 30, 1 to beat, 20, cuts back 15, 10, 5, gets tripped up and gets into the end zone. Galindo, 80 yards on the run, mostly on the left side of the field and from the Hobbs Eagle bench to add insult to injury.
Exactly, and took that run all the way to the house. It was a perfect one. Looked like Hobbs was going to be able to stop him, but just only was able to keep up with him, wasn't able to get him tripped up or anything. 80-yard run, like you said, and Artesia back on top.
He had 4 rushing touchdowns last year in their win in Artesia. Tonight, 2 carries for 92 yards and a TD. Swinging gate formation for the Bulldogs. And they're going to go with the running play here because they lost that 2-point conversion defensively against the Eagles that scored on their last drive. Trips left. Or trips right, I should say, for Artesia on the stack. Caceres slips in the backfield, and he's ripped down hard. Eagles get a piece of him and throw him down to the turf as he slipped for just a second there. And wrapping him up and throwing him down was Tristan Davis, the linebacker, leading tackler on the team last year, and a brute force on that PAT, no good on the 2-point conversion.
And we told him about Tristan Davis. He is a force.
9:45 left second quarter, but Artesia up ahead again against the Hobbs Eagles, 13-8. Here in the second, we're back in 60 seconds. So Artesia back in the lead, 13-8, 80-yard touchdown run for Galindo, their speedy running back, up by 5 with 9:45 left, second quarter. Very close ball game here at Watson Stadium, game 2 of the 24 season, as we get ready for the kickoff for the Bulldogs. And that will be Darius Mendoza. Kicking for the 40, keeps it on the ground, a bouncer, rolls to the 30, picked up by the Eagles. Far sideline, 35, 40, 45, 50, and run out of bounds right at the 50-yard line for the Artesia bench. I like to see the progression there on the return. Is just kind of watching defenders and sliding around him, and the return man for the Eagles was Amarian Kennedy, of course. He's their starting running back, and going to get some action here pretty quickly. Of course, Kennedy so far in this ball game has been the main go-to guy. He was dropped for -17 on his second carry, but came back with a 65-yarder, and since then added 20, so 85 since that negative run. But didn't have much help in blocking on the time he was dropped in the backfield.
And Hobbs has got history on their side as far as against Artesia at home. They haven't lost to them since 2016, and that was a huge one. 56-28 was the loss.
First down and 10 for the Eagles at the 41. I'm not sure why they're not at the 50. I guess they said he stepped out sooner. Twins in motion now. One to the left side goes Beatty, Braddock Beatty. His brother gets the snap, hands up the middle to Kennedy, just fires through to the left gap, right to the left hash mark, maybe 2 as he puts his helmet down. That's really the most go-ahead handoff we've seen in this game so far. Kennedy doing a lot better on the outside where he can get the acceleration going. We did see a little bit of an option look early in that first quarter. 9:20 left in the half, and Hobbs down by 5, 13-8. Of course, the Artesia Bulldogs, 2 defending state championships in a row for them. And, of course, they lead the series big time against the Eagles. This is the 50th game between these two teams in the history of the two squads, of course.
And, Artesia has more than double the wins just by 1.
Eagles won 13 games out of that series. Shotgun, delay handoff to Kennedy, angling right, dropped as he tries to get back to the line of scrimmage, trying to throw his body there as he got his legs taken on a swipe. And he'll be lucky. Man, I guess they gave him forward progress on that one, maybe about a yard on the gain for Kennedy.
No, that was back to the line of scrimmage. They already had 1 yard gain.
Yeah, they had the stick moving around over there on that far sideline. They get him to the 40, 42. I think they gave him 1. 3rd down and 9 now from the 42. Hobbs will get the trips right, receiver left. Back to the shotgun goes Beatty, and he has Kennedy behind his shoulder there. We got some jumping on the defensive ends for Artesia. Do they actually break the plane, though, is the question.
I think they did, and I think he knows it, too. That's why they're backing up. Yep, it's 5 yards against Artesia.
Artesia's had a total of 3 penalties for 16 yards. 3rd down and going to make it a little bit closer now for Hobbs. They'll have to get 4 into Artesia territory at the 49 for another first. Back to 3 receivers right, 1 to the left. And Beatty wait for that shotgun. Behind him is Kennedy. 4 in the front for the Artesia defense. Option right to Kennedy around the right end. 50, 45, near sideline, gets tripped up and slides forward. But he's got plenty for the first down and then some. Make it 11 for the first down for the Eagles.
Yep, that was good enough for the first down and definitely a good run. Could have been more, just got tripped up before he got in the backfield.
11 yards for him. 4th first down for the Eagles now at the 41. Yeah, he tried to keep his balance, but once he got hit in the thigh and just kind of threw him up in the air just a little bit and couldn't come down and keep the stride going. But if he would not have been hit on that one, he was going to go up for the races up that near right sideline for a touchdown. 1st and 10 for the 41. Twins left, receiver right. Beatty with the shotgun. Go back to Kennedy up the gut. No, the fake around the left end is Beatty. 35, 30 up the middle, 25, 20. And he'll be dropped out at the 20-yard line. Great fake, got me guessing on that one. That's going to be 21 yards for the quarterback, Mr. Brock Beatty.
Exactly, and we knew he could get on his horse and run, and he did so. Was almost uncontested right up until he got that tackle around the 28.
5th first down for the Eagles, now at the 23 of the Artesia Bulldogs. 5 first downs so far. Eagles doing a good job of mixing up the calls here. Twins right. They also have a slot right side. 1 receiver left. Shotgun to Beatty. 3-step drop in the pocket. Stays there. Fires down the middle of the seam route. A diving catch in the end zone. 1 yard in for the touchdown. 24 yards. What a great job of getting down on the turf that time to come up with a catch and the score.
And that was Braddock Beatty.
Yeah, Braddock Beatty. The Beatty brothers connected on that one.
Exactly. We knew that was going to happen this season. We were already starting it already, brother to brother. And that made it look easy. It looked like it was one of those backyard plays.
It's 2nd catch of the ball game for 34 total. And the Eagles lead 14-13, back up by 1 as we await the PAT, the kick for Hobbs. And that, guess who, is Beatty. Oh, it's a late snap. The ball is rolled out, and the holder is going to try to run it out, but he's not going to be able to get far as he gets dropped to the turf. Might have been a design play there, Benton Lee. It looked like the snap was so late that time, he just decided to go with the fire route and just run it with himself, and he got a bunch of guys coming low on him and took him out. But no good on the PAT, the 2-point conversion, I should say. 7:10 left in the second. Hobbs up 14-13, a barn burner here at Watson Stadium for the home opener. We're back in 30 seconds.
Hobbs football action here at Watson Stadium, and we are getting a good one here, a barn burner, as we just said a moment ago. 14-13 is the score as Hobbs is about to kick off again. Artesia looking to come back, but of course, we got the call from Ty Friend.
First quarter, Artesia scored first. Hobbs came back. Artesia scored first in the second quarter. Hobbs came back. Now a 1-point lead, 14-13. 7:10 left in the half. Eagles will kick off. Eagles have had some turnovers, the same with Artesia as we get the kick going end over end. And it will be a starburst situation, caught at the 12. They decide not to do the reverse this time. Up the right side, 20, 25, 30, up the middle, 35, 40, and thrown down to the 45-yard line. Great return there for Caleb Murray for the Bulldogs. He went into the little scrum pile there at the 10, usually where you see that handoff, and you never know who's going to come out of the little huddle there, the starburst.
Yep,
and about the 12 all the way down to the 48. So 36 yards on that return there for Murray, and he just put it tucked under his arm and just went full speed, said, hey, I'm not going in that huddle. Get out of here.
Exactly, and sometimes they work it very well. That's the reason why they get all these extra yardage just on the kick returns.
Yep, they love field position to get their offense going. But right now, the Eagles have got the lead of 14-13 with 7:02 remaining, and the officials trying to get the right ball out in the field. Of course, teams are able to keep their offensive ball when they need it. Oh, we have a penalty here too. It looks like it went against Hobbs for some reason. See how much they mark off on this. Official kind of jumped in there. I didn't even realize there was a flag on the turf there.
Looks like 10 or 15.
Maybe just 5. I think he stopped before he moved on there. So we'll go ahead and give the 5 on that one. Did not see the count or the signal what that was. That's going to go against Hobbs regardless.
I mean, if you look at the flags, though, you'll
now
see
they're
that.
Moving
yeah,
at 10.
exactly. They're not lined up. Now they are.
You mean the sticks, right?
Right. The sticks weren't where the players were. They were 5 yards off.
Yeah, officials had some little trouble tonight getting things marked properly. 1st and 10, Twins left, Twins right. At the Eagle 39, the handoff. Trying to cut up the middle and getting squashed big time up the gut was Galindo. Hobbs Eagles had a big black and gold wall there. Just wait for him. And the guy coming up underneath of the pile that time was Amron Wheeler, the defensive end, taking out some knees that time as Galindo gets just 1 yard on the carry.
And no laundry on the field, so we don't have to worry about that. 2nd down and 9.
Ball's marked to the 30. Looks like 38-yard line. Middle of the field now. Clock running with 6:27 remaining. Good fast clock in this game, Ron. Both teams just kind of being consistent, keeping it going up the field, and a couple penalties going on to stop action just a bit. And now we got another whistle in the backfield as the Whitecap has stopped the clock.
Well, while we're doing this, I'm going to go ahead and give you an update on Eunice, and they are at 62-12. It's a final against Estancia.
Yeah, Estancia. Yeah, mercy rule victory for the Cardinals, doing some great stuff, 2-0 this season. They changed the clock to 6:42. They added a bunch of time on there now, and that's what we had a stoppage for. 2nd and 9 from the 38. Shotgun high. Caceres bobbled it. Hands around the right end. Getting around defenders, 35-30, and that'll be a 1st down pickup for about 10 on that far right sideline towards the Artesia bench. Looked like they might have had a new running back in there that time. Galindo's usually their go-to guy from the backfield. Yeah, that was number 28 instead of 20. Ethan Kahn might have been the man in the backfield. Maybe it was Galindo. It's hard to see those 0s and those 8s combined there. Galindo usually the guy that gets the ball. And they're going to give him, looks like 9 to move the chains. That will be the 6th 1st down for the Bulldogs. Moving close into Hobbs territory at the 27. Shotgun to Caceres by himself. The quarterback heads up left of the line and meets that Hobbs Eagle wall again. Might have got the forward progress 1-yarder. But not much more than that, if then.
Actually, looks like he got 2 yards out of that one, but either way, did the best he could with what he had.
He met the power of the Hobbs Eagles, and coming up on him that time was Ivan Vargas, the defensive lineman. Again, I don't know how he got 2 out of that one, but he squeaked it out. So 2 for Caceres, who was by himself in the backfield that time. Twins left and right for the Artesia receiving core. 5:50 left in the half. Hobbs up 14-13. Shotgun back to Caceres at the 30. He's going to dance around to the right side, unloads from the 30, lost the ball as he tried to sidearm it. It rolls out on the far right sideline near the original line of scrimmage. Now, just because the ball rolls forward does not mean you get the pickup yards on that one, and they're going to have to make a decision where that ball came out. Whitecap is on that far sideline, the referee, to make the call on that. He's just trying to get his arm from the side and try to move it forward as he headed towards the Artesia sideline far right. Ball slipped out and went out, so they're going to just move it back to the original line, which is the 25. Incomplete pass on that one.
Exactly. Got lucky on that one either way. Could have been a fumble, and if that's the case, Hobbs could have gotten it back, but instead just an incomplete pass.
3rd down and 9 from the 25. Quick screen to the far right side, breaking a tackle to 25, 20, and out to the 18, close to a 1st down. Good job of getting forward with that catch and run.
Just short, looks like, by about a yard, maybe a yard and a half.
88, the man to come up with that catch. One of the wide receivers deep out there on the right side. That's Jack Byers. So short of the 1st down. Byers getting about 7 on that one. 2 catches for 12 yards. Fair officials are changing the clock again. They're going to add some time to it. 13 seconds added. Trips left, 2 receivers right on a 4th and 1 for Artesia at the Eagle 18. Back to Caceres, throws a screen left, the catch at the 18. tried to dive forward, needed to get to about the 17. That's going to be very close, as the man with the catch there was Ethan Kahn. He got 2.
Yep.
So Kahn's got his 4th catch of the night for a total of 34 yards. That's 8 first downs for Artesia, and their 9th reception out of 17 attempts for Caceres. And a first 10 now for Artesia at the Eagle 16-yard line on the left hash.
Yeah, Artesia in the red zone. They were able to get those 2, like you said, able to move it forward and not have to turn it over.
5 minutes left in the second. Hobbs by 1. Twins left and right. Delay handoff, trying to cut up the middle. First headed right, then trying to get up the gap is Galindo. Just kind of trying to move the pile there, as Tristan Davis is the first to meet him. But that's only after 5-yard pickup for Galindo, and he's now got 5 carries for 107 yards, already in triple digits.
Both sides pushing hard, but Artesia a little harder than Hobbs.
Trips right, 2 receivers to the left. Caceres by himself in the backfield, back at the 18. Good snap, 2-step drop, throws it down the middle of the post route, man wide open, a hard whip of a throw, and waiting for it was Galindo, and he gets the touchdown there.
Yeah, that was right up the middle, was able to get it. I thought for a second it was blocked by one of our defensive guys, but was not able to, and touchdown for Artesia.
That's the 3rd catch of the game for Galindo for 17 yards. And now we got a whistle here and a timeout for Artesia. Wow, they're going to make a decision here because they know it's a 5-point game. Going for a 2-point conversion would get it back to 7, which would be a little bit more manageable in a close game like this. So they're going to talk about it. Coach Moppa going to discuss that with the orange and black. We'll take a quick 30-second timeout. 4:17 left, second quarter. Artesia 19, your Eagles 14. Come back with us. 4:17 left, second quarter. Back to live action here at Watson Stadium. Game 2 of the season for the Eagles as they take on the defending state champs 2 years in a row, the Artesia Bulldogs out of the 5A. Of course, the Eagles playing in the 6A. As Artesia took a timeout before their 2-point conversion attempt, they lead by 5 after a touchdown pass from Caceres to Galindo. Going to the line of scrimmage is Caceres, the quarterback. Quick throw over the shoulder to the right corner, but overthrows his receiver. Miscommunication on that one. Incomplete. Hits the back line to the corner there. Jack Byers, the intended receiver, no good. And the Eagles escape a 2-point conversion, but still only trail by 5. And they hopefully will have the last possession to run as much clock as possible with 4:17 remaining. Never want to give Artesia a chance to get the ball back in any amount of time in a ball game.
Exactly. They took another chance. They just didn't get the timing route right. Were able to get it in the end zone, but not caught. So another missed opportunity for Artesia, and they're sinking further back. And Hobbs, all they have to do is just get a touchdown, and they get a nice little lead at the halftime, like you said.
Of course, the Eagles have picked off 2 passes of Artesia's Caceres so far. Eagles have had a couple of punts and an interception themselves, but we got a seesaw battle going on here at Watson Stadium. And, of course, last week, Artesia whipped up on Carlsbad with a 40-some points on the scoreboard. Carlsbad scored once. Of course, the Eagles had a tight one, at least in the second half, down 17-0 in that game and scored a couple of touchdowns in the third to make it a 9-point loss in that one. Still one you want to have back, but still great comeback in terms of motivation here on their home turf in week number 2.
Yeah, Artesia had 37 unanswered points in the first half against Carlsbad.
The kick is going to go short. Nice low catch at the 35 up the far sideline, 40, and to the 45-yard line, about a 10-yard return. And having to get down big on a crouch that time to make the catch and the return for the Hobbs Eagles was Amarian Kennedy. And that kid is very acrobatic. He's going to use his body wherever he can on the field. He gives Hobbs some pretty decent field position with 4:12 remaining. And once again, Ron, I think you want to be a little bit conservative and keep that clock moving as much as possible. And definitely don't want to give any turnovers up here to give Artesia back the football. But Hobbs doing a good job of managing their play calls here in this second quarter.
Yeah, but Artesia with 2 timeouts, probably going to use them unless Hobbs can just slowly eat up the clock.
Beatty gets the shotgun, hand off to Amarian Kennedy, heading right, breaks off one tackle, trying to slide over, and is going to be dropped middle of the field, about the 44-yard line. Trying to continue to pull some guys with him, but had to face a big body in front of him, and he's kind of put up a stop sign there. That was Chris Aguilar, the defensive end. He's got to be at close to 300 pounds there. Kennedy just lucky to get back to the original line of scrimmage for 0 on the gain on that one.
Exactly. Had a couple opportunities, just was the defensive line just did not let him get past that line of scrimmage.
Of course, he had a 65-yard run in the first quarter. Had one for 11 here in the second. So a couple of double-digit runs so far. And it's going to be a 2nd and 10 for the Eagles at their own 40-yard line. Twins right and left, the receiving core. And we got Beatty kind of talking to Kennedy behind him, looking to the sideline as well for the play call with 3:27 and ticking in the second. Of course, we talked about the clock management, exactly what they're doing right here. Good shotgun snap, 3-step drop, pump fakes, rolls right. Beatty throwing on the run, out route, caught at the 50-yard line. Nice snag for 5 yards there. Good fingertip control on the football toward the Hobbs Eagles sideline on the right. Braddock Beatty, his brother, for the 5-yard pickup.
And we were talking about Braddock Beatty. I know from last season he has improved not only on football, but he's also improved on basketball as well. He's gotten more stance, he's got more power, and I know he's going to be a big motivation for this offense for the Hobbs Eagles.
Eagles 7 of 10 in the passing game so far. Beatty has caught 3 for 34 yards, including a 23-yard touchdown. 3rd down and 5 for the Eagles, close to the 50 at the 49. Twins left and right. Beatty back to pass. Back pedals, throws it down for grabs at the right side, and a catch made at the hash mark and brought across to the 40 of Artesia. A 10-yard pickup. Ball is kind of sailing ahead of Kennedy, but he stretched out his fingertips and comes up with a 1st down catch.
Got it past the defensive line. That was what he wanted to do. Sucked in all those defensive players and got his player opened up enough for that 1st down.
2 catches for 14 now for Kennedy. 6 first downs for the Eagles and the 8th reception. 1st and 10 at the Artesia 40 on the right hash. Clock to 3 minutes left in the second. Eagles down by 5. Trips left, receiver right. The defensive end on the left side jumping hard and gets the offside penalty there. Axel Hartley, actually the defensive end. Kind of a smaller guy, too. I thought he was coming out of the secondary there for a blitz, but instead he was the D end. 5-yard penalty against Artesia, and that will be their 4th penalty of the ball game for 21 yards.
Yeah, not as bad, but still a nice little gain for Hobbs with no effort at all, no problem. So no attempt of any kind of interception or fumble.
35-yard line on the right hash. 1st and 5 for the Eagles in Artesia territory. Clock running with 2:40. No urgency for Hobbs. They want to keep the clock moving. They want to get a score here and finish up the half in style. Back to pass, Beatty out of the shotgun. He's going to throw the curl route off the number plate there in the middle of the chest. Should have been a catch. Coming back about the 30, making the 25, but it ricochets off as the pass was intended for Gabriel Henry, incomplete, and you'd like to have that one back.
Exactly. It would have been a nice 1st down, would have moved the ball, gotten them to a closer field position, as well as kept the clock running.
So that's going to bring up another 5-yard look for a 1st down here. It's going to be 3rd down for Hobbs. Or actually make it 2nd on the right hash. Trips left, receiver right. Back to shotgun goes Beatty. Has Kennedy on his right shoulder. Fakes a handoff. Tuck it for Beatty up the middle. He's dashing away, spinning across the 30. Has the 1st down and then some. Make it 8 for the quarterback, Beatty. And now has a total of 23 yards on the ground with 3 carries and moves the chains again. The 7th time the chains have moved for the Eagles. Now at the Artesia 27. And keep it on that right hash area is where they're trying to keep it close to with 2:20 remaining.
Exactly. And one of the things that Hobbs wanted to do is move the ball down the field against a tough team like Artesia. They're doing it, looking pretty easy about this too so far.
Only gave up about 100+ in terms of yardage last week to Carlsbad. Trips left, receiver right. 1st and 10 from the Artesia 27. Shotgun Beatty fakes the option. Tucks it, goes up that right hash again. And that'll be another, making about 5-yard carry for Beatty. So back-to-back runs for him for 13 yards. And 28 overall. Clock down to 1:55. And Coach Stevens definitely wants to make sure that clock is going to move. If we can score, let's give them about 5 seconds, and that's it to get a chance for some type of offensive series after that for the Bulldogs.
Yeah, exactly. Hobbs keeping the ball moving and wanting to get that score before the halftime expires.
14 for the Eagles, 19 for the Bulldogs. They're leading by 5. A lot better than last year's score of 42-6 in Artesia. Twins right, Twins left. And now a time going to be called as the Coach Stevens kind of looking to see what Bulldogs going to give them on defense, and we'll have a little strategy timeout here. 1:27 left before the half. Hobbs down by 5, 19-14 to the Bulldogs. We're coming back strong with more Hobbs Eagle football in 30 seconds. 1:27 left here in the second quarter at Watson Stadium. Home opener for the Hobbs Eagles as they lead, or should I say trail, 19-14 to Artesia. They did have some leads in this game, too, as Hobbs will get the football. 2nd down and 5 from the Artesia 23-yard line on the right hash.
Two receivers, the future.
2 receivers left, 2 to the right side as Beatty will be back in shotgun. And behind him is Kennedy at the 30. Long snap count here. Gets a good snap. 2-step drop. Fakes the throw, rolls left, looking down the field. He's going to unload, but it gets knocked out of his hands, high in the air. Eagle receiver trying to come back for it off the deflection on that far sideline. Good attempt to come back to catch it, Gabriel Henry, but that ball is a wounded duck in the air. No chance to come back underneath that one.
And unfortunately, they stopped the clock with an incomplete pass. So, I mean, 3rd down, and the Hobbs still in control with this one, but giving some life back to Artesia with 1:20 to go.
3rd down and 6, actually, for the Eagles, as they'll have it at the 23-yard line. Stop the clock with 1:20 remaining. And again, they'll get those 2 twin looks on the receiving core, both left and right of the football. Beatty with a short shotgun snap coming here, about 2 yards behind the line, as he has Kennedy protecting his back, I guess, behind him, like he's been doing quite a few of the plays. Shotgun, 2-step drop. Going to fade it out to the right corner. It's intercepted at the goal line, and running out of the back of the end zone after making the catch. He broke the plane, and they call that a touchback. And that man that picks him off that time, I believe, was Tootie McNeil, and I think that's his 2nd pickoff of a Hobbs Eagle pass in this game.
And unfortunately, another blown situation where Hobbs had a chance to get the lead, and instead another INT in the end zone stops their drive.
And the worst situation we just keep talking about, Ron, is it gives Artesia the ball with 1:14 remaining.
Exactly, and they also, not only does it wipe away 6 at least, but gives the opportunity to advance Artesia into a bigger lead.
Both teams have 2 interceptions so far. Twins left and 1 right for the Artesia crew. Make it twins left and right. Shotgun. Back to Casares, back at the 12. He's going to sail it down the middle of the end zone, or make it over the middle of the field, I should say, in the seam route. Well overthrows his receiver. Receiver was back at the 50, and that ball hit down about the 35 into the Hobbs Eagle territory. And no chance to come underneath that one for the Bulldogs. That was Bryce Parra going out, the running back, for that pass. Artesia is 10 of 20 in the passing game so far.
Yeah, it looked like the defensive player had a better chance of it than the offensive player for the Hobbs Eagles, but still, nevertheless, it hit the ground for an incomplete.
2nd down and 10 now from the 20. They're going to go with the handoff around the right end out of the shotgun. They try a quick pass to the right flat over to the 30-yard line, in and out of the hands of the intended receiver. Might have heard some footsteps there at the 1st down marker. Did a good job of getting right to the 1st down area, but just right off his fingertips that time for Ethan Kahn. He's a sure-handed receiver for him, leads the team in receptions this year, but incomplete, stops the clock with a 3rd and 10 from the 20. 1:05 left here in the first half. And Hobbs would love to get the ball back for a few chances to score if they can.
Yeah, Artesia only spurned up 5 seconds so far in this possession, and Hobbs still watering for that touchdown.
Twins left and right. Casares back to pass into the shotgun. 3-step drop. He's going to throw it down. Fade to the far right sideline. Ricochets off a double team defense on that far side, and one of the Eagles got a piece of it. That ball just kind of thrown up for grabs there, as the double team looking pretty good for the Eagles on that far right sideline in front of the Artesia bench.
And that defensive player is just showing everybody that, yeah, he had it right on his fingertips. Couldn't quite come up with it, but would have been spectacular if he did.
Jacob Diaz, Merari Orozco on the double team on the incomplete pass that time, and had the receiver sandwiched between them. Artesia going to be bringing the punt unit with 59 seconds remaining, so Hobbs hopefully will get a series, a couple of plays, hopefully, unless this is a fake punt, which ain't going to happen for Coach Maupin. They'll get rid of the kick, and it's going to be a bouncer at the 50, scooped up at the 45. Dangerous scoop on that one. Might have wanted to get away from that ball, because if it would have came off his leg or something, that would have been a turnover. Regardless, the recovery for the Eagles on the return, Adrian Mora, and Hobbs will have some good field position with 51 seconds left in the second quarter. They trail by 5 to the Bulldogs. And they'll mark the ball at the 44 of the Eagles. So near midfield, down by 5.
Yeah, and another opportunity for Hobbs. Artesia unable to take advantage of that possession.
Second punt of the ball game for the Bulldogs. Eagles will have 2 receivers left and right. Looking to the sideline now on the right for Hobbs Beatty, the quarterback, and behind him is Amarian Kennedy in the backfield. Artesia has 4 in the box defensively and bringing up a linebacker for the blitz. 3-step drop out of the shotgun. They throw the quick comeback route in the middle of the field to the 50, and diving forward for about an 8-yard, making a 9-yard pickup.
Is Braddock.
Yep, Beatty again. Beatty doing a great job of snagging that one. They're going to give him 9. That's his 4th catch for 43 yards. 2nd and 1 for the Eagles at the Artesia 47. Clock down to 29 seconds left in the half. 3-step drop into the shotgun. Beatty going to sail to the near sideline over the shoulder on the flag route, but overthrows the receiver to the sideline. That was intended for Beatty again, going to the well back-to-back that time.
Exactly. Sometimes, you know, when it works, you just got to keep working at it. And unfortunately, though, just did not connect on that one.
Stops the clock, though, with 2nd down and 11 at the Artesia 47, middle of the field here with the play with 24 seconds left in the second. Still a 5-point Artesia lead. 2 receivers left and right. They're going to bunch it up just a little bit as going underneath the center this time is Beatty. He's going to dive forward to get the first down, pushes the pile, continues to move his feet, pushes across the 40 to the 35 rugby style, gets the first down. He's got about 14 on that one, does Mr. Brock Beatty.
Now, hurry up offense. They're going to try to save that timeout.
8th first down at the 33 of Artesia, still middle of the field. Twins left and right. Hobbs looking to the sideline. Clock running with 10. They're going to have to call the timeout. Actually, stop it with 12 and come over to talk to Coach Stevens. We'll keep it right here at Watson Stadium. A touchdown would regain the lead for the Eagles. They're down by 5, 19-14. We've had a lot of 2-point conversion attempts in this game, so that might be the difference in the contest when it comes down to the 4th quarter.
Yeah, well, that last one for Hobbs wasn't completely expected. They were trying to kick a field goal, a PAT, and instead it got out of control as far as the snap. Once again, another snap problem for the Hobbs Eagles, and they were not able to do anything with it after that bad snap.
But we have to say, though, much improvement, though, for the center position in this game compared to last week. We had stuff sailing over Beatty's head several times in the contest, giving the Eagles some real problems. But Kestner has done a good job tonight, the starter there at the center position, and really helping out the Eagles' cause.
And that's one of those situations, though. It's a tough position to play. Center is. You've got to hike the ball as well as defend the pass or the quarterback. So it's hard to do, especially for certain people.
First down and 10 for the Eagles at the 33 of the Bulldogs. They trail by 5. And Casares, or make that Beatty for the Eagles, waiting for the shotgun. Pairs of receivers left and right, fakes the handoff to Kennedy, stays pocket. He wants to sit it down the middle, but it's a bad throw. Artesia had a chance to intercept, diving in the air for it. Should have come down with it, but I think he might have hit the turf with his chest. Ball came popped out. That was Hayden Harcrow just tasting an INT. Luckily incomplete for the Hobbs Eagle faithful.
Yeah, in and out of his hands. Looked like just tried to catch it, but wasn't able to. So Hobbs, once again, though, tries to see if they can get something going with this advantage of having the ball.
Second down and 10 for the Eagles at the 33 of Artesia on the right hash. 2nd and 10. Trips right on the short side in front of the Hobbs Eagle bench, one to the far left. Beatty and you-know-who in the backfield, Kennedy. Takes a good shotgun, 2-step drop, make it 3 now. Steps up in the pocket, fires, and he tries to throw towards the 10-yard line, fade to the right, but looks like a piece of the ball touched in the air by Artesia, getting a hand on it that time for the Bulldogs. Appeared to be Charlie Campbell, the free safety, but once again, Hobbs not able to connect, and now a 3rd down. The question is, do you try to get in more position for a field goal that would get you down by 2 at the half? And with the field goal, could win it later in the ball game, but we have to wait and see. I doubt that. I think they're going to go for it on both of these downs here. 3rd down and 10 now from the 33 of the Bulldogs. Right hash once again. Trips left, one receiver right. Beatty with a hard snap count. Takes a 2-step drop. He's going to fire down the middle of the seam route, over the shoulder to the back of the end zone, but 2 defenders closer to the ball than the Hobbs Eagle receiver. That will run out the clock, the 9 seconds that were left. So the Hobbs Eagles have to settle for a 5-point deficit at the break, trailing Artesia 19-14. We will take a 3-minute break, come back and talk about the first half of action, get some stats in here. Hobbs Eagle marching band coming out in the field. Plus, we'll also have an interview with the athletic director, Jeremy Soria. You're listening live to Hobbs Eagle football on Cool 95.7 and on the internet, hobbsamerica.com. Thank you.
Welcome back to Watson Stadium. It is a barn burner as we're at halftime right now. It is First Response Appreciation Day as well as Military Appreciation Day, and we are celebrating that. Of course, the band out playing right now to all the delight of the fans as we got a close one here. Artesia up, but Hobbs has been trying to get back into it and just close but no cigar so far, but still have a half to go.
Yeah, kind of a seesaw affair. Both teams scoring once in the first quarter. It was another even balance, both scoring once to start the second quarter, but Artesia pulls ahead. A 17-yard pass from Caceres to Galindo got the score to 19-14 is where we're at this point in time. A 5-point lead for the Bulldogs. Let's take a look at the stats in the first half of action. First for Artesia. Galindo, of course, their leading running back, 5 carries for 107 yards, but that included an 80-yarder, so he definitely was off to the races on that one to help out the cause. He had, again, triple digits in the first half, and last year had 4 rushing touchdowns for Artesia, so he definitely can get it up the field. But only 109 yards total of rushing offense. He had a 107, 2 for Caceres, who was 6 for 2. He's been dropped in the backfield twice, 17 total minus on his numbers in this one. So again, 109 yards rushing in the first half for Artesia. On the passing side, they are 11 of 23. Caceres, the quarterback, of course. Galindo, the running back, had 3 catches for 17 yards, including a 17-yard touchdown reception. Kahn, their leading receiver on the season, had 4 catches for 34 yards. He had an 18-yarder and 1 for 5 for a touchdown. Fuentes had a catch for 12. Also Byers with a couple of catches for 12 yards. And one other player coming up with a catch for Artesia was Diego Lopez for 12 yards. So again, 11 of 23 for 87 yards in the passing game. Artesia has not made it to 200 yet, 196 yards of offense. They've had 11 receptions and 11 rushes in the first half. 4 penalties for 21 yards. They punted twice and gave up 2 interceptions to the Hobbs Eagle defense. Also a total of 8 first downs for the Bulldogs in the first half of action. For your Hobbs Eagles, Amarian Kennedy, the leading rusher, 10 carries for 82 yards. His best was 65 in the first quarter on 1 run and 11 double-digit in the second quarter. Also, Beatty, the quarterback, 5 carries for 42 yards, including a 24-yarder and a 14-yarder. So the Hobbs Eagles with 15 carries in the first half, 124 yards. That's better than what Artesia had at 109 in the running game. In terms of the passing offense, 9 of 19 in the first half for Hobbs. Henry 1 for 4, which was a touchdown catch for him. Beatty, the brother of the quarterback, Braddock Beatty, 4 catches for 43 yards, including a 23-yarder for a touchdown. Also getting a reception for the Hobbs Eagles in the first half was Justice French for 5 yards. Kennedy had 2 out of the backfield for 14. And Rodriguez a catch for 2 yards off a 2-point conversion. Again, Eagles 9 of 19 in the passing game for a total of 68 yards in the first half. Hobbs a total on offense of 192, which was just 4 shy of Artesia. They had 15 rushes and 9 pass receptions in the first half. Eagles giving up 2 interceptions just like Artesia did to the same player out there as well, so that definitely needs to change. Tootie McNeil getting 2 grabs on the defense for the Bulldogs. Hobbs had a total of 4 penalties in the first half for 30 yards. And that pretty much is the comparison, 192 to 196. Hobbs a little 4 yards shy of Artesia. Hobbs had 8 first downs, 8 for Artesia, so lots of balance in this game, although Artesia leads by 5 at half.
Yeah, and one of the things we talked about at the pregame is the fact that if Hobbs wanted to win this game, they needed to, curtail their penalties. Do not make as many penalties as they did last week. Of course, also make sure you get the turnovers. Not as much, but still, they're going back and forth, and they're also answering back to Artesia. Both teams are answering, at least as far as scores go. So now it's up to Hobbs to be able to answer back. Otherwise, they're doing really well on defense. They have slowed down this awesome Artesia team. They usually just come in and just run rampant all over the place, especially with the quarterback. So far, they're having to work for it, and that's the reason why they only have like a 5-point lead so far in this game.
Yeah, we haven't seen that. We did see the 80-yarder for Galindo, but in terms of this domination, not seeing like we did last year with those 4 rushing touchdowns. I think the big difference on the penalties, as you mentioned, is the concentration penalties have been erased. We don't see the offsides, the false starts that Hobbs was seeing last week against Lovington. Yeah, there's been some penalties out there, but not the ugly ones where you're going to say, you guys aren't ready to play, which Coach Stevens admitted last week. He felt his players weren't ready to step up to where they needed to.
Exactly. Plus, there was quite a few PIs over at during last week. Just some procedural stuff that really needed to be cleaned up, and so far they've done that in this first half, and I think they're going to be really good in the second half. I think it's going to be a very tight game, and definitely going to be interesting to see who can come out on the top.
Hobbs Eagle Marching Band doing their halftime performance. Pretty exciting stuff out there right now. We're going to take another break, about 5:50 away from the second half action. Your Eagles trail Artesia 19-14. We'll be back in 3 minutes on the Hobbs Eagle Network. Welcome back to halftime here at Watson Stadium. Ty friend Ron Gunner with you. Special guest in the studio as the Eagles trail Artesia 19-14. New athletic director here at Hobbs. Been in the program a little while as the assistant, but now the head man. Jeremy Soria, coach, I know you've been running around and putting you in the spot here, but even before the game you were trying to get all the last-second stuff taken care of, but thanks for being with us here tonight.
Hey, I'm excited. Thank you for having me.
I know it's kind of tough running up this stadium stairs, and I know you used to do that when you were a kid probably, but not as fun when you get older, right?
No, not at all. As you can hear, I'm breathing pretty hard right now. I had some things at halftime. Nothing bad, just to handle, and then I had to run up here, so I'm still trying to catch my breath, so
okay,
work with me.
We'll check your weight on Monday, okay? Well, you're coming back. You've been here a couple years now as assistant athletic director. You went over to Arizona, had coached quite a few years, three sports. We talked before the game about this, not on this broadcast, but on the pregame show. Tell us about that. You come back to Hobbs to be the AD.
It was fun. That really gave me the experience I felt I needed. I always knew being an athletic director was the kind of the end goal, but I never thought it'd be here in Hobbs. And coming home and having 3 different positions in 3 years, from freshman coach to assistant basketball coach, assistant AD to now the head AD, it's been a tremendous honor, and it's been a crazy ride, to be honest with you.
And, of course, you worked under Miss Wilson that has since moved on, retired from the Hobbs School District. And, of course, you got put into the position as somebody that's had some experience in more than one state. Were you welcome back to Hobbs in terms of coming back here where you used to play as a Hobbs Eagle basketball player for one?
Yeah, the greatest thing about home is it's always home. They always remind you of something that you did in high school, middle school, elementary school, something your father, mother did in a sport. They really hold sports close to their heart. So I think first day at Albertsons when I moved back, someone brought up a state title that a team I was blessed to be a part of, and a shot I might have made or something I might have did. So they always welcome you home regardless of the situation.
Of course, last year in your more of administrative position with the athletic department, you had some great efforts with teams. Soccer, for example, state champs. They were nationally ranked. Hobbs Lady Eagle basketball, I mean, been in some championship games left and right over the last couple years as well, and other programs too. But have you had to kind of have a learning curve on to keep up with some of these sports? I mean, you haven't coached everything in your life, but you're getting close, I guess.
Yeah, the thing is for me is that's why we are in the role we are in. We hire those people to do those jobs. My thing is just to give them the support. The biggest reason I jumped into being athletic director so I can have an impact on every sport versus just one sport, which was basketball. And for me, I think it's all about building relationships with those coaches, just giving them the beliefs I had to have success, and then letting them run their team from an X and O side.
Of course, you were more of a metropolitan area near Phoenix when you were in Arizona. How do you compare facilities here to some of those, I don't know if you say inner city schools, but some of the schools that don't have as much money to throw around? Right?
It's a different animal, to be completely honest with you. We're in a district. The district I was in, we had 19 high schools just in our district. So I had a $2,000 budget for 9th through 12th. So it doesn't even compare to what we have here in this beautiful town, this beautiful city. Our coaches are very blessed, very lucky to have what they have. So it's fun to watch and see the difference in how we moved in the city to how we move out here.
So in terms of projects for the future, I mean, are you got what you need here, you think, in terms of the different sports programs?
Yeah, I think we're okay. From an athletic side, the youth programs are coming along. That's one of my big goals right now, is to continue to build those, because I knew that's how we had success, was having success young and getting everybody together young. So by the time we got to high school, we already knew what was going on within each other and having that camaraderie. As far as facilities, I'd love to put this on the other end, but I'm going to have to ask Mr. Strickland for a little bit more money to put this press box on the side where the sun doesn't shine.
Oh, yeah, that's right. And you mean that, I don't know, yeah, sun don't shine. More way than one, you take that. But, hey, I know, of course, Hobbs Eagle basketball is the highlight sport throughout the years, even when you were playing. I mean, you kind of want to get away from that being, hey, this is the home of basketball and that's it?
Yes, basketball is very close and dear to my heart, of course. But as an athletic director, I do have to kind of, and as an ex-basketball coach, I do have to change my mentality and focus on making Hobbs the epic center for all sports, not just one. And I think we're coming along. It was a great ride with soccer last year, being nationally ranked, being able to put those medals over those kids' heads. So I think we are being known for more than just basketball, but basketball is still king in this town.
I mean, it's kind of cool. Ronald Ross now coaching there. You know him a little bit, don't you?
Yeah, just a little. He was actually the best man in my wedding, so you can say I know him, but no, I do, and I'm excited for what he's bringing. His beliefs, his positivity, the growth he's bringing to these kids, where he's been, what he's done in his life, I think is really going to have an impact on the culture. And that's all this is really about in athletics, is building a culture, and then the wins will come.
We're talking to Jeremy Soria, athletic director here with Hobbs. First season as a full athletic director, the head man for the athletic programs here. And in terms of, talking about coaches and dealing with them, is it tough for you being a former coach? Does that give you more insight, or is it kind of tough evaluating people?
It's tough because I see what I think should be going on, but like I said, in every sport, that's what we hire people for. But the hardest thing is now being on the athletic side and understanding why athletic directors said no to coaches. You always just go back to your office and be like, we needed this, but they couldn't give it to us. I don't know why they couldn't give it to us. And now me being on the doors, I know why. So I try to be just as transparent with every coach as possible and let them know why I'm making the decisions I'm making.
Coach, you've been back for a little bit now and see some of the competition we have here after being gone for a few years in our Arizona. Is it the same arch rivals, the same situation, Artesia tonight, the same type of thing that you used to see when you were playing too?
Yeah. I still can't wear orange. I refuse to put purple on. I walked into the Rock, I think, a couple years ago, and my blood started boiling. So nothing changes. It is what it is. The competition and the rivals are going to be the competition and the rivals. But the big thing, and I think we talked about this earlier with Hobbs, is when people see that black and gold, they're going to bring their best no matter what color they have on.
One last question, Coach. I know you've been running around like a madman tonight. What's one thing that was kind of thrown on your doorstep at the last minute that you had to take care of that you weren't expecting tonight at this football game?
I wasn't expecting for there to be a car fire and our fire truck to be running late and everybody calling me asking me what's going on. I can't control everything, even though I try.
Did you feel like throwing your cell phone away?
I really did, and then I got 30 texts about the tent being up, because the whole community pretty much has my phone number. So if you saw me down there, I was picking up them weights and helping them moving it. So I'm working just as hard as everybody else.
And I know we rushed you up here. You had to sprint up the stands, and now we have to get rid of you because we're starting the second half. But thanks for coming up and talking to us about your new position, the athletic director at Hobbs High.
Ty, as always, man, we appreciate what you do, bud. Thank you.
Jeremy Soria, not just Hobbs High, but the district Hobbs Incorporated. So definitely enjoy having him come up here and talking to us. And I know, and I'm literally saying he ran up the press box, or up the stairs of the stadium and the press box to get in here with us. Of course, 19-14 ball game. We're ready for football once again as we get Ron Gunner back up here as well. And Ron, give me a quick key for the Eagles to win this ball game, only trailing by 5 at the half.
I think they are doing very well as far as their position. They just need to continue not making mistakes, just moving forward. Of course, every possession they need to get at least some kind of score. That would be great. And if they can slow down this Artesia team like they did in the first half, I think they got a real good chance of winning this game.
So your Eagles down 19-14. Here starting the third quarter of action. Hobbs in the black wearing the gold numbers tonight, and Artesia going to kick off here momentarily. White uniforms, orange and black. As we get ready for second half action, Eagles will return on this one. Of course, we talked about at halftime the offensive production for Hobbs. 82 yards on the ground for Kennedy, 42 for Beatty in the rushing game. 68 in the passing department. An onside kick and a roller. Eagles have to kind of do a sidewinder there to get to the football, run at it full speed and kind of do a tumble there. Steven Villanueva, the guy that comes up with for Hobbs to make sure the Eagles kept possession. And Artesia keeps doing those wobblers up the middle of the field. That time rolled about to the 40. Let's see where they mark it here as Hobbs will have their first possession of the second half. And Eagles did a good job, Ron, of clock management in that, especially towards the end of that second quarter.
Exactly, they did. You know, it seems always that Artesia, in some form or another, are always trying to catch their opponent off guard. That one didn't work this time, and Hobbs has got a great field position.
Twins right, receiver left. The handoff of the middle to Kennedy. 40, angle right, 45, 50, and he'll get a first down on the first carry. About a 14-yard pickup for Amarian Kennedy. And that's going to be his 11th carry of the game for 96 yards to move the chains again for the Eagles with 9 total and a hurry-up offense for Hobbs.
Yeah, but first down, so that makes my job a little bit easier trying to keep up with the score.
Into Artesia territory at the 49. And this time, Beatty will hand up again, and this another plow forward for Kennedy across the 40-yard line. Maybe he just barely across it. He'll get another 9 up that right hash and not wasting any time of the Eagles.
No,
so 2 carries for 23 here just in the second quarter, and that makes it a total of 105 now for Kennedy. Be shy of the first down by about a yard. Eagles need to get to the 39 over on the right side of the field in Artesia territory.
And
shotgun.
Quick work of it.
Twins right, receiver left. Beatty back to pass out of the shot. He's going to roll left. He's got a lot of pressure. Unloads it to the far right sideline into the Artesia side of the field. And they're going to have to make a decision if he throws the ball away that time, but did he get out of the pocket area so it will not be intentional grounding. And it looked like a helmet flew off, too, for one of the Eagles. Amarian Kennedy lost it. He's going to have to come out of play. I think they're just going to call this an incomplete pass for the Eagles, luckily.
Exactly. He did go past the line of scrimmage, and looks like there was no question about his intention.
Third down and 1 from the 40 of the Artesia Bulldogs on the right hash. Staggered eye formation, shotgun look for Beatty. Now it's going to be a split in the backfield. Twins right, receiver left. Beatty turns and fires to the right sideline, catching the 40. Coming across and getting the first down. Nice shimmy there for about a 5-yard pickup. That's going to be French to get the 5-yarder. French now with 2 catches for 10 yards. That's the 10th first down of the ball game for the Eagles.
Yeah, the Artesia defense was set for a run. They weren't expecting that little pass, and that was just enough to get that first down, a little more.
Yeah, Beatty dumped it in the right flat, and there was French waiting for it. He had a big touchdown catch against Lovington last week. 10 first downs for the Eagles, now in double digits. From the 34 of the Bulldogs, right hash again. Twins right, receiver left. Split formation backfield. Give the handoff up the middle, bounce it around. There goes Kennedy off to the right side to the 30, pinball action. And he's going to get about 8 on that one. So Kennedy with some positive carries, all 3 of them here in the second half for 31 yards. 113 total on 13 total carries in the ball game.
And you always love it when a runner gets into the secondary on a run.
That's going to move it up to the, looks like the 27-yard line of the Bulldogs. Clock to 10:23 remaining in the third. Eagles down by 5, 19-14. 4 in the front box for Artesia's D. Shotgun back to Beatty. Gives a handoff and angling right and plowed down at the 25-yard line. Looks like Seamus Wright gets a handoff that time.
Going to be close to a first down. Let's see where they mark it.
Needed to get about 2. Let's see if they give him the 2. Penalty marker, though, that's going to make a little bit of a murky water down there. See who that's going to be against. Still no indication. Hobbs Eagles looking to the sideline. We still haven't got the signal yet.
And they're walking it towards Artesia, so it looks like it was against Artesia.
Oh, unsportsmanlike conduct.
And that is going to be a huge one. Half the distance to the goal on that one, and it's going to make it much better for them. In the red zone, will Hobbs be first and 10.
Actually, that was not Seamus Wright. That was Ricky Gonzalez who carried those that previous play. Eagles now with a first and 10 after the 15-yard. Actually, it was at half the distance, I believe, on that one.
Yes.
Going to go with the handoff up the middle, and Gonzalez heads to the right side, gets spun around outside the right hash, down near the 5-yard line. And he's got another looks like another 8 yards. So back-to-back runs for Gonzalez, 2 for 16 on the ground. Actually going to say his knee went down a little bit sooner than that. Give him 7 on that second carry.
Yeah, he had a whole lot of field up there for a couple of seconds. Artesia wide open, and then closed it down before he got the first down and or the touchdown.
Second down at about 4.5 for the Eagles. They knock at the door of Artesia near the 5-yard line. 19-14 Bulldogs. Split formation backfield, back in the shot between his 2 running backs is Beatty. Has 2 receivers left, one to the right. Give it off to the right side to Kennedy, and rambles into the end zone, untouched for the touchdown. That's going to be a 7-yarder for the Hobbs Eagles to get on the scoreboard again and take the lead.
And that's exactly what Hobbs wanted to do. Open up this third quarter, be able to get to the touchdown. They did that, and now they just got to slow down Artesia and come back strong.
So Kennedy with the touchdown, 7 yards. 4 carries in the second half so far for 38 yards and the TD. That means he's at 120 now. Low snap and trying to throw it to the back of the end zone and off the chest of his intended receiver, Braddock Beatty. I'm not sure if that was designed. It was a low snap on the PAT attempt. Tried to chuck it to the back of the end zone to Henry and looked like might have even ricocheted off his numbers in the chest that time. Incomplete.
It did. It just went in and out of his hands. I'm not sure exactly where he lost it or how he lost it, but yeah, so close. Could have been 2 more points for Hobbs, but instead missed opportunity once again. But they did get the 6. So they are back in the lead.
20-19 your score. Hobbs by 1 with 9:10 left third quarter. It's a back-and-forth affair at Watson Stadium. Come back with us in 30 seconds. Third quarter action from Watson Stadium, already ready for the kickoff as Hobbs leads 20-19. Fabian Astorga to kick off for Hobbs from the 40-yard line. Eagles just getting scoring from Kennedy, a 7-yard run here in the third quarter. And Astorga to pooch it to the 25, bounces off the ankles of the Bulldog on the near sideline to the 30. He gets spun around and dropped to the 31, about a 3-yard return. He just lucky he held on to it, Galindo, that time in the return, and great coverage for the Hobbs Eagles to get in there and swap him down. Mike Meredith, the defensive lineman, wasn't he the guy that got the safety last week, I believe? Mr. Meredith was the guy that pinned Lovington in the end zone for the 2 points.
Yeah, that was a wild one. Each side got their own safety.
9:05 left, third quarter. Artesia's offense back out on the field. Eagles up 20-19. Bulldogs will bring it up to the 32-yard line. Hobbs is kind of scrambling, getting a last-second guy on the field and barely getting out there in time. Was Tristan Davis, the linebacker. I don't know what happened there. Twins right, 2 receivers left. Fake the handoff. Caceres dumps out left flat, wide open, 35, 40, 45, 50. And that's going to be, it looks like a maybe 22, maybe 20-yard pickup there on that far sideline.
Yeah, and more importantly, Noah Laundry on the field, so it will count as a first down for the Artesia Bulldogs.
Looks like they got the reception out to number 26, Galindo. So about 21-yard pickup on that one. That'll be a first down. They're ninth to the ball game at the 49-yard line. Handoff around the left end. Jumping outside. It's Galindo into Hobbs Eagle territory at the 48. Kind of hurdled over a couple of guys there, at least with his body, not his feet. Just kind of threw the body over the top. 2-yard pickup.
Yeah, all that running, and I thought he got more than that, but just 2 was gained for the Bulldogs.
That's his 6th carry in the game for 109 yards on the night. Second down and 8 now at the Eagle 48. Twins left and right. Shotgun for Caceres. Claps his hands, fakes the handoff, dumps it left flat on the screen. Caught at the 45-40. Push it ahead to the 35, and that will be another first down. About 15 on the reception there, and that short left flat. A late flag.
Oh, another one, too.
Might have a personal foul involved here.
Definitely. Some after action after the play. Not going to count good for whoever got called on that one.
And it looks like Bryce Para was the one that got the catch on that one, and his helmet came off, too. I don't know if it got ripped off or not. 15-yard reception, 10 first downs now for Artesia. And this is going to be a critical one here if it's going to be a tack-on against the Eagles. They don't want that to happen. Dead ball foul. Oh, we got personal fouls going both ways. They're going to cancel out. So it will be a first down. Gets 15 to Para. We'll move the chains as we mentioned. So both teams now with double-digit first downs, 10 apiece. Boy, this game is so balanced going both ways. Pair of receivers left and right. First and 10 for Artesia at the Eagle 35 left hash. Caceres by himself, lone man in the backfield. 2-step drop on the shotgun. Throws the slant route. Caught at the 25-20. Down to the 15. Another first down. 20 yards that time.
Yeah, and Artesia firing on all cylinders so far in this drive. First one of the second half, and they're looking like Artesia should.
Kahn is the man that catches that one. He's got 5 catches for 54 yards. The 11th first down for the Bulldogs now at the Eagle 15. Middle of the field, too. Caceres will be back with Galindo in the backfield. Twins right and a receiver left. Give to Galindo. No, pulls it out of his gut. It's intercepted on the pass to the far right. 30, 35, 40, 45, 50. He's gone all the way. 40, 30, 25, 20, 15, 10, 5. Touchdown. 80-yard pick 6 for the INT touchdown.
Man, he got right in front of that pass, was able to get it, and off to the races. Only had one person to beat and did so. That is a kick in the pants for Artesia as Hobbs extends their lead.
Give me a second here to get this everybody unraveled. Big time, Tristan Davis, 80-yard, close to 80 yards, depending on where they count it from the near the line of scrimmage. They faked the handoff up the gut to Galindo and tried to dump it to the left side of the line, and there was Tristan Davis, around an 80-yard return on the pick 6.
And did such a great job of it, too. All he had to do was just keep his feet. He did so and made it all the way in for an easy touchdown.
I'm saying, I bet it's going to be a little bit closer to 78 or so on that INT pick 6. As we wait for the PAT here, Hobbs up by 7. Definitely would like to get this to make it an 8. No, it hits the right upright. Unbelievable. I can't believe how that kick hit off the bar. Artesia picked it up and tried to run it back. You don't get away with that in high school football. You don't have any run backs on PATs. 7:47 remaining. Tristan Davis close to an 80-yard INT pick 6. They lead by 7, your Eagles over Artesia. Stay with us live on the Hobbs Eagle Network.
All right, we are live at Watson Stadium, and this is an exciting one, of course, because Hobbs is winning against this Artesia team that is the 5A champions and is making it look real good. 26-19 after a missed PAT, but a 81-yard interception from Tristan Davis makes this game a little bit better for Hobbs as the kickoff goes. Here is the call from Ty Friend.
3 interceptions by the Hobbs Eagle defense in this one. Another kickoff for the Eagles by Fabian Astorga. Actually, no, they switch it up. That's Braddock Beatty to kick it off. It's dropped to the 30 on the near sideline by Artesia. Picked back up, and that's Galindo. He's had a little trouble over there on this near side in front of the Hobbs Eagle bench. near the press box side of the field and able to come up with it. The last one hit him in the ankles. That one hit the turf as well, but he had his hands right on top of it. And boy, big turnaround for the Eagles. Motivation here in this game after losing to Lovington last week. They want to pick off this two-time defending state champ Artesia Bulldog team here at Watson Stadium. Hobbs has won the last couple of games here, though. Right, Ron?
Exactly, the last 3 exactly. And
Right.
the last time they've lost against Artesia at home has been all the way back to 2016, and that was a blowout.
Artesia football, 1st and 10 from their 33. Trips left, receiver right. Rolling left is Casares. He wants the flood routes. Going to the far sideline, unloads on the high out route, but overthrows his receiver at the 50. Sails into the Artesia bench. No chance for coming back on that one. As a man out there to try to even get close to that play was Ethan Kahn, the wide receiver. Incomplete. They have completed a couple of big passes here in the second or third quarter. Galindo and Kahn, 21 for Galindo, 20 for Kahn. But after that, an INT, and it's 2nd and 10 now for Artesia at their own 33. Hobbs up 26-19 with 7:36 remaining in the third.
Yeah, one pick six can just ruin a drive.
Tristan Davis taking care of that business. Trips left, receivers 2 to the right side. Caceres by himself in the backfield. One step drop, steps up in the pocket, up the middle, 35-40, 45-50. Artesia in the Eagle territory at the 40, near sideline 35, fumbles it out of bounds, but they're going to keep the ball.
Yes, indeed. And, yeah, up until that fumble, he was looking really good as far as running. Got into the Eagle territory and just kept juking and getting more yards. Sometimes, though, that does cause a fumble. He did fumble, but Artesia did not lose the ball.
40-yard pickup. Did get the extra on the fumble forward. 40 yards of the first down. That's 12 first downs for Artesia on the right hash of the Eagles at the 30. Again, a 7-point lead for Hobbs after missing the PAT off the right upright. Twins right, receivers 2 to the left side, 2. Shotgun to Caceres, back with Galindo. Fakes the option and tries to hit up the middle again, going back to the well and stumbles forward, lost his footing and slipped sideways. Middle of the field there at the 30. Might have got forward. No, they're not giving him forward progress. They're going to drop him back a yard on that one.
Yeah, and the turf monster got him on that one. Just could not get his footing underneath him and slipped and fell.
7:05 left here in the third quarter. It's 26-19 as the Eagles trying to hold on to a big lead here at Watson Stadium. Not a big lead, but a momentous lead.
Exactly. For this game, it is pretty big.
2nd and 10 from the 31. Back to pass Caceres. 3-step drop. Dumps it down the middle of the field and almost gets intercepted. No receivers there. Just a short 7-yard pass in the seam. But waiting for that ball and wishing he could have it back, almost getting that pick again for Hobbs, was Peyton Davis. Had Tristan Davis early with a pick 6 for about 81 yards, and another Davis having a chance at it. So the D looking big on the Davises. And it's 3rd and 11 now for Artesia on another incomplete pass. Twins left, or make it trips left, 1 receiver right. Casares back with Galindo. 2-step drop into the shotgun. Stays pocket, dancing feet, looking around, rolling right. Nobody open. Dumps it out in the right flat. The catch made it to 20. Cutting back to the inside and down to the 16-yard line. That will be about a 13-yard pickup for Artesia.
Yeah, Artesia with a couple of missed tackles from the defense of Hobbs are getting some advantages on that one, keeping the ball moving forward.
Be another reception. That's the 5th catch for Galindo, and that will be for 51 yards. First down, number 13. Artesia at the Eagle, 16-yard line on the right hash. Hobbs up by 7 with 6:18 remaining in the second. Twins left and right. Caceres, 3-step drop. Throws it down the middle on the drag route off the fingertips of his intended receiver Galindo at the 10, incomplete.
Threw it right in front of him. He was able to get his hand on it, like you said, just couldn't haul it in. Was thrown a little bit harder than he expected it to be, and so it dropped to the ground for an incomplete pass.
Artesia 15 of 27 in this ball game in the passing department. 2nd down and 10 now from the Hobbs Eagles, 17 to make it the 16-yard line. Clock stop with the incomplete pass, 6:14. And this is more reminiscent of what we see with Artesia games. The clock kind of slows up with the incompletes, but that first half went by pretty quickly, Ron.
It did. In fact, the first quarter was about 30 minutes, and it just zoomed by.
Trips left, 2 receivers right. Caceres by him, lonesome in the backfield. Doesn't even take a step. Up the middle, 20, 15, 10, zigzagging through traffic. Barrels into one more defender at the goal line for the Eagles. Almost gets through, but not enough for the touchdown. Does get about 15 to the 1-yard line. And boy, he just kind of snaked his way up the middle that time.
Exactly. It looked like he was going to worm his way in. Got past the 5-yard line, and it looked like he was going to get stopped, but still managed to get down to the 1.
2 carries in the second half for big yardage, 54 total. Actually, 3 carries for 54, 56 overall in the ball game for Caceres. That is another Artesia first down. They've got 14 in the ball game. Eagles burn a timeout here. They want to stop this touchdown, but 5:53 left in the third quarter. I guess they want to be very strategic and trying to get the ball back against Artesia. We'll take a quick 30-second break. Hobbs 26, Artesia 19, back in 30 on the Hobbs Eagle Network. Back after a timeout, Artesia goes with a dive up the gut, and it looks like it'll be enough for a touchdown, and they need to get 1 yard, and that is the man Galindo. Rambles in from 1 out, kind of flicks the ball as he gets to the back of the end zone. Not much attack on him that time. A 1-yard touchdown run for Galindo, and that'll make him 110 in terms of rushing yards on 7 carries. Triple digits, yes, but he had 107 at the half. Kind of quiet here in the second half, but they are going to try to tie this ball game or maybe go for 2 to try to take a lead. Nope, they're bringing their kicker in.
Right, like they usually do with the swing gate. Just come out and see if we can get this game tied for the Artesia Bulldogs.
Brody McDonald looks like he's the man out there right now to kick. Good snap, kick is up, and it is good. We got ourselves a tie ball game. Actually, I believe that wasn't who I thought it was. That's Derek Warren who put it through the uprights. And we've got a tie game, 26 all. 5:50 left, third quarter. It's anybody's contest, been back and forth since the start. And we'll take another 30-second break live on Cool 95.7 and on the internet at HobbsAmerica.com. Back here at Watson Stadium, Ty friend Ron Gunner with you. Tiffany Stuber back at the station. Your Hobbs Eagles are tied with Artesia now, 26 all. Hobbs has scored twice in this third quarter, 1 for Artesia. Of course, Kennedy had a 7-yard run, and Tristan Davis a 78-yard pick 6. And the kickoff comes back to the Eagles at the 30, 35. Far sideline to the right, 40. And out to the 40-yard line for Hobbs, about a 15-yard return. And the man coming back with it for the Eagles off the return, Justice French. 6'2", 170, got a little size out there. Of course, his granddad is a referee here in Hobbs, too. Tommy French. Know him very well, and excited to see his grandson actually his nephew out on the field. Hobbs football, 1st and 10 from the 44-yard line. As the Eagles want to try to take a lead again, it's been kind of a rocking boat back and forth here for both teams. As Hobbs try to get to 1-1 on the season, Artesia is 1-0 right now. Eagles go at the shotgun. Twins right, receiver left for Beatty. Puts a man in motion from right to left. And that is Braddock Beatty. Back to pass, a 3-step drop, some pressure. Going right now, back to the left on the zigzag. Beatty's going to chuck it up the near sideline, over the shoulder, but it looks like he might be out of bounds. Is the official going to call it good or not?
I think they're going to go catch.
Yes, Braddock Beatty is the man that makes the connect on that one for the first down.
He was in bounds. He got the ball and was able to get his feet in, and it is called a completion and a huge first down.
It's about 44 yards there for Braddock Beatty. That matches his numbers in the first half. He had 4 catches for 43, and now a total of 5 catches for 87. That'll be the 11th first down for the Eagles. Eagles at the 30, make it the 26. Shotgun Beatty. The comeback route on the far side. The ball's caught near the line of scrimmage, actually behind a little bit on that far right side. That's going to be a minus on that one for Justin French. Good hands on the football, but couldn't get it upfield for a 3-yard loss, unfortunately.
Yeah, tried to get something snuck in past that defense. Artesia wasn't biting at all, and you're right. 2-yard loss makes it 2nd and 12.
5:11 left here in the third. We're tied at 26. Hobbs versus Artesia at Watson Stadium. Going to be a 2nd down and 13 for the Eagles at the Artesia 28-yard line. Beatty back with 2 running backs to his right. Little staggered eye look. Ooh, the receiver on the far right is a little stumble step there. That's going to be a false start. Jab stepping is Justin French. Didn't get himself set, and he'll pay the price on that one for a 5-yard penalty. That's going to be 7 penalties now for 47 yards. And we talked at the half, not too bad numbers on the penalties in the first half, Ron, but you don't want to start shooting yourself in the foot and taking back yardage you deserve.
Exactly. I mean, that's not going to hurt them too bad. It's only 2nd and 15. And they've got plenty of time as well as plenty of room. In fact, sometimes you want to get that extra cushion to be able to get in the end zone.
Back at the 34 of Artesia now. The Eagles, as you mentioned, 2nd and 15. Eagles part of the play call. Look to the sidelines for a refresh here. Receivers 2 to the left, 1 to the right side. Beatty taking a long time on the snap count. He's going to move his backs to a split around him now, 1 on each side of his shoulders. Come back route to the left side, caught at the 30 and bouncing through 2 defenders. That's going to get about 6 yards for the Eagles. Is coming up with that one. Let's see, number 18, Austin Chavarria. And I believe that's his first catch of the ball game. Yes, it is. 6 for Chavarria.
Didn't want to get it all back, just wanted to get half back. So now it's 3rd and 12, looks like.
They'll mark it at the 28-yard line on that left hash. 2 receivers to the short side in front of the Hobbs Eagle bench, 1 to the far right. Split formation backfield, high snap for Beatty. Fakes a handoff, rolls left. He options to the left side and get knocked to the 20, 15, 10, 5, into the end zone. No, they're going to say he stepped out of bounds.
So close, so close.
That's going to be about a 26-yard run up the near sideline off the option. And the man with the ball that time for the Eagles is Seamus Wright. Seamus Wright, just a sophomore. That's his first carry of the ball game for 22 yards and another Eagle first down, number 12 of the night for Hobbs. Actually going to put it back, it looks like, at the 3-yard line, so make it 21 for Wright.
Yeah, executed perfectly was the offense on that play.
Shotgun, the handoff going up the gut, and Kennedy trying to drag a defender on his backside, throws himself across the goal line, and that's a touchdown for Amarian Kennedy. Score Amarian Kennedy from 3 yards out for another touchdown here in the second half. His second one, 10 yards, 7 on the first, 3 on the second for TDs.
And once again, Hobbs proven that when they play Artesia at home, they rack up the points, and on both sides it's going to look like that, but it's who wins last as far as possession. That will be the winner of the game.
Good snap, the kick is up, and it's blocked. Blocked backward towards the Eagles kicker, and right chasing it down was Benton Lee, the holder. So they can't get that to convert. Boy, I hope that's not the difference in this one. Don't want to make any remarks like that too much here in this second half. But 32-26 on the block PAT. Artesia trailing your Hobbs Eagles with 3:32 left, third quarter. It's a barn burner at Watson Stadium. Stay with us. .332 left, third quarter. A 6-point Eagle lead, 32-26. Missed PAT, unfortunately, after a big run for a touchdown there for Amarian Kennedy. His second rushing touchdown here in the second half. Definitely one of the go-to guys in this game for the Eagles. And the kickoff for Hobbs is going to be going back deep towards the 20. Caught at the near right side, 20 to 25, 30, zigzagging to the sideline and thrown out at the 37. And boy, Galindo got hit hard and close to being late on that one, but the whistle didn't come quick enough, so that's going to save Sammy Baeza, who just picked him up by the shoulder pads and threw him out of bounds. It was close to the sideline, but luckily the whistle wasn't sooner, because they might have said that was a late late activity there on that sideline. It's going to be Artesia football, though, at their own 37. Eagles up, though, by 6 with 3:32 left here in the third.
Yeah, still plenty of time. We still have the fourth quarter to deal with. We talked about the fact that the first half was fast. This one's been a little more slow, more methodical.
Waiting for shotgun is Caceres. 2 receivers left and right. They bring one man in motion. Galindo gets a handoff around the left end. 35, 40, stretch it out far side. 45, across the 50 into Hobbs territory and dives down to the Eagle 45. He wouldn't go down easy on that one. He's going to get about 13 on the play. Let's see how much they're actually giving him. It looks like more like 16.
It's a little slow to get up, but that looked like it was a direct snap to him. So that's the reason why he got such a head start on that.
16 on that one for Galindo. Going to move the chains for Artesia into Hobbs territory at the 45. That will be the 15th first down for the Bulldogs. Officials having a little meeting there at the line of scrimmage, and now they're breaking out of it. Twins right, 2 receivers left. 1st and 10 for the 45. On the left hash, shotgun to Caceres. Fakes the handoff, throws it to left flat. Caught, brought across the 40, and keeping the pile moving to the 39. That's going to be a 6-yard pickup on the screen left.
Yeah, and Artesia using the short side of the field to be able to get some yardage off of that pass play. Got about 5 or 6 on that one.
Trying to see who that was. I believe that was Lopez who came up with that one. So about, as you mentioned, 6. Second catch for 18 now for Lopez. 16th reception for the Bulldogs in Hobbs territory at the 39. 2nd down and 4 off that left hash. Pair of receivers left and right for the Bulldogs. Caceres has Galindo back with him in the backfield. Bring him out of motion from left to right. Hand around the right end to the 40, to the right hash, and going to be held up at the 38. That's all close to the line of scrimmage. I don't think he's going to get more on the forward progress. Nice read there for Tristan Davis, having a great game so far. The man coming around that right end, coming from left to right, was Bryce Parra. And it looks like they're going to give him no gain on the play.
Yeah, that could have been a possibility of a first down for Artesia, but the runner was stopped in his tracks and couldn't go anywhere after that.
3rd down and 2 now from the 37-yard line of the Eagles, middle of the field here. Big play for Artesia. Trips left, receiver right. Shotgun to Caceres. Handoff the angle left, and that's going to be enough for the first down and then some. About a 4 or 5 yard pickup, depending on where the knee went down. And that will move the chains.
Yeah, looks about 3. So either way, though, he did get enough definitely for that first down.
Galindo, looks like 4 on that one for Galindo. He'll move the chains. That's the 16th first down. He's got 130 yards on 9 carries in the contest. And Artesia back up to line of scrimmage at the 32 of the Eagles. Hobbs up 32-26 with 1:29 left third. Draw play up the gut. There's Galindo and meets the wall of the Eagle defense. Bunch of black and gold jerseys in there. Bunch of people getting a help of the action there. Got to give the initial blow for the Eagles down low on the running back, Jaron Meredith. Defensive lineman, 6'1", 260. Did they give him forward progress or not? No gain on the play for Galindo.
Yeah, and he was fired up, so I think the defense on Hobbs is really kicking on all cylinders right now. They have one goal right now. It's to stop Artesia from moving the ball forward.
Twins right, receiver left, doubles receivers left. Shotgun back to Caceres. The curl route caught at the 25. Getting around a defender to the 20. Will be a first down and 12 total on that play on the far left sideline. Nice job of dodging a bunch of defenders that time. 12-yard pickup. And the man that comes up with that one was Myers. So he'll get 12. And that will be the 17th first down of the game for Artesia. Taking more time in the huddle now are the Artesia Bulldogs. 1st and 10 from the Eagle 18-yard line. 25 seconds left in the third quarter. It's a 6-point Eagle lead. 2 receivers left, 2 right, a man in motion left to right. Fake the handoff on the reverse. They go at the pass to the corner of the left end zone. Touchdown. Nobody there defensively. Eagles got burned on that reverse that time. And there's an 18-yard touchdown score for Artesia. The receiver just kind of waiting in the end zone for that one. And the reception made for the Bulldogs. And getting some chest bumps out there on the end zone is Jack Byers. He's the one that caught the pass previous to that, too.
Yeah, that would look like a sidearm sling over there, but either way, got it to his receiver, and easy touchdown for the Artesia Bulldogs. And they could get the lead on this one with a PAT.
He's had 4 catches for 42 yards, that for a touchdown from Byers. As we await that big kick. This could take the lead for Artesia. It's up and it is good. So 17 seconds left here in the third quarter. Artesia able to punch through the kick for the PAT. And we have a 1-point ball game as Artesia leads 33-32. We'll take a quick 30-second break, come back with more Hobbs Eagle football live on Cool 95.7 and HobbsAmerica.com on the internet. It's anybody's game here at Watson Stadium as Artesia leads after a kicked PAT 33-32. 17 seconds left in the third quarter, and this thing ain't done yet, Ron. We've got 65 points on the scoreboard combined tonight.
Exactly. Like we talked about earlier, you know, when Hobbs wins these games, they're not by a little bit. There are a lot of points put up on the board on both sides, and we're living it up to it right now.
Long, deep kick to the 10. It's caught for the Eagles. They look like they're going to do a starburst. A handoff around the right side to the 15 and get somersaulted forward to the 20. Limited yardage on the return that time as Eagles taking the page out of that starburst kick return. And the man that had the ball last for Hobbs and then got his legs taken out from underneath him was Seamus Wright, the sophomore. Hobbs football, not their best field position of the game, but they're going to try to take this lead down by 1 here with 11 left in the third.
Absolutely, and yeah, Hobbs just trying to do something a little bit different, taking advantage of some of the miscues from Artesia. That one didn't quite work out, but they still have the ball.
Eagles back up to line of scrimmage. They got a pair of receivers right, 1 left. Staggered or making an I formation. Now they're going to move it to a split as Beatty will be between his 2 backs. High snap, comeback route to the 20, caught, brought up the far sideline, 25, and up in it at the 28. Should be about an 8-yard pickup in front of the Artesia bench on the far right. And the man that got that was French. So they're going to give him 9 on the play. And French has had a total of 4 catches for 16 yards. That will run out the third quarter clock as this thing is going to go down to the wire here at Watson Stadium. Artesia 33, your Hobbs Eagles 32. Back at 60 on Cool 95.7, HobbsAmerica.com, the home of the Hobbs Eagles. Welcome back to Watson Stadium. Eagle football, 2nd down and 1 from the 28. The handoff up the right hash and getting close to that first down marker. It's going to be close. Got pulled down near the line of scrimmage, and hopefully Amarian Kinney was able to drag people for the yard he needed. Going to be a very close call here. Might even bring the chains out for the first time. It's close to the 32. They're going to give him the benefit of the doubt and give him the 1 yard he needed.
Yep, first down, Eagles.
So the first down converted, and that'll be number 13 of the night for Hobbs at the 32 of their own on the right hash. They trail by 1 to Artesia, 33-32 as we're underway here in the fourth quarter. You definitely getting your money's worth in this one, Ron.
Oh, absolutely. We already knew that was going to happen. Both sides can be very offensively explosive.
Twins left, receiver right, 3 in the backfield, including Beatty. He's got his 2 running backs on the right side. Stacked up, turns and fires the post route to the 50, but short of his receiver at midfield. One defender was trying to dive for it, and that was a looked like a post route there for Hobbs, but thrown short past midfield.
Yeah, that was just on his fingertips. Like you said, that was to Braddock Beatty, who had expected a better connection on that one, but just missed it by his fingertips.
Beatty, of course, has had 11 catches in this game. Or, excuse me, not 11 catches. He's had 5 catches for 87 yards. Second down and 10 for the Eagles. From the 32, shotgun, hand up the middle. Kennedy trying to angle back to the left side as he came across the line of scrimmage up the gut. And he kind of pulled another defender behind him. I don't think he got much on that. The knee went down, so no gain on the play for Kennedy.
Yeah, may have lost a yard on that one from the position of the ref and did lose a yard. It's going to be 3rd and 11.
124 yards on the ground for Amarian Kennedy. 3rd down and 11, as you mentioned. Shotgun to Beatty between 2 of his running backs. Tries to throw it to the left flat. I'm actually trying to do a curl route across the 40-yard line, but the defender comes up and swats the ball, kind of leaps up in the air, charging towards Beatty near the line of scrimmage and knocks it down before it even comes to the curl route in the left side of the field, and that will be incomplete, and now Hobbs is going to probably have to punt this one.
That was Hayden Harcrow, the senior. Almost looked like he had a chance or an opportunity to get that interception, but just knocked it down, and now it's 4th down.
Clock stop at 10:51 left here in the 4th. The Eagles looking to the sideline. Late guy coming on the field for Hobbs. The punt. Finally get their 11th man out there. Eagles taking their time, bring a man in motion left to right. I don't think they're going to try a fake here. The punt's going to be from the 20-yard line off the foot of Brock Beatty. Ball's going to be caught at the 28, brought far side right to the 40, heading to the sideline and brought down at the 41. And the man that brought that one back for Artesia was Ethan Kahn, and ripped down pretty hard out there on the far sideline by Isaiah Rodriguez in front of the Artesia bench, but good field position for Artesia. They'll have it at their own about the 40-41-yard line, and that was just the 3rd punt of the ball game, first in the second half for the Eagles.
Yes, indeed, and both sides have been offensively strong. Let's see if Hobbs can make a defensive stop on this one and get the ball back.
Hurry up offense for Artesia, 1st and 10 from their 41 on the right hash. Trips left, receivers 2 to the right side. Waiting for the shotgun. By himself is Caceres in the backfield. Stays pocket. Nobody getting on him. He dumps it on the little out route to the 50, and this ball comes loose. Good defense there. As trying to head to the far side was Galindo towards the 1st down marker. That would have been close to a 1st down, but the Eagles get a swat on the football. The linebacker over there for Hobbs getting a piece to knock that away, and that was Gustavo Diaz-Castro, the linebacker. Yeah, incomplete for Artesia.
Right about that. That could have been about 8 yards at least, if not more, for Artesia. Hobbs dodged a bullet. 2nd
down and 10 from the 41 right hash. Shotgun Caceres. 3-step drop. Dumps it to the right flat, caught at the 40, 45, and brought with the back pedal to the 47. About an 8-yard pickup.
And yeah, that was definitely brought down fast just before he got the 1st down. But it'll be short, though. 3rd and about 2 to 3.
Artesia gets the catch there by Frankie Galindo, about a 6-yard pickup. It makes you, well, actually close to 8 there they give him. That's his 6th catch of the game for about 59 yards. 3rd down, about 2.5 now for Artesia at their own 48 on the right hash. And they're letting some clock run here, too. Just a 1-point lead, 33-32 to score, as Hobbs trails by the 1. And taking a lot of time to get subs in there. Clock down to 10. And no urgency for Artesia. They just want to be kind of rhythmic out there and to make sure they get the plays converted the way they want to. No sloppiness. Twins right, trips left. Again, Caceres by himself, the real estate in the backfield. Good snap, tucks it, tries to get around the right end. Now cuts back, he broke a tackle in the backfield, up the middle now to the 50, 45, 40 to the near sideline left, 35 and run out of bounds. All done by Caceres on that one.
No, actually, isn't that's somebody else, that's 10.
That's him.
Oh, okay, I thought he was 13.
Oh, actually, no, it was Gonzalez, you're right. About a 20-yard pickup for Gonzalez at the 34.
And the way he fought tooth and nail to get that one across as far as he did.
So Gonzalez gets about 24 on that one, brings up another 1st down for Artesia. That is their 18th of the ball game. 1st and 10 from the Eagle 34. On the left hash, You have the handoff up to Galindo across the 30, breaks a tackle, then a bear hug on his waist as he falls forward across the 25 to the 24-yard line. And that's going to be close to a first down. Nope, they're going to give it to him. That's 10 yards exactly for Galindo to move the chains.
And they've changed the quarterback. But it looks like he's got a little bit of a hobble.
Yeah, he was having some issues coming back on the court. Actually, no, that is Caceres. That's number 10. Okay. So he's the starter. So I believe that you said Gonzalez before. That was Caceres that had the 24-yarder.
Right.
And now it'll be a first down and 10 from the 24. Shotgun to Caceres. Twins right, twins to the left side. Now he's going to slow up the count here. Has Galindo on his left shoulder, kind of looking around like they're confused about the play call. And Coach Maupin wanted a timeout. We got the back judge throwing a flag for delay, but I think they got the timeout right before the flag coming out for the back judge. He's going to wave it off. So that will stop it as Artesia will have a discussion with Coach Maupin. There was some confusion in the backfield. Galindo was shaking his head to his quarterback, Caceres. Caceres is injured, like you said, and that might be part of the problem. They're kind of worried about what their play call is going to be here with a hobbled quarterback.
I mean, they've been relying on his legs as well as his arm. He's been really good on his legs. But if he's hurt in any way whatsoever, they don't want to injure or further risk any injury to their star quarterback. So they're going to be very careful about their play selection.
He's had 3 double-digit runs in the second half, too, 40, 15, and 24. The quarterback Caceres for Artesia. Only had 6 carries in the first half and only had 2 yards, but he was dropped in the backfield for a loss of 17 on 2 different carries. First and 10 now for the 24. They're back in action. Twins left and right. Caceres turns and fires with a slant route. Almost intercepted on the right side of the field and slapping his helmet. He wanted that one back. That's Tristan Davis, and boy, he's had a bang-up game for the Eagles.
Got his left hand on it. Couldn't bring it in, and knew if he did, though, may not have been a touchdown, but still, that would have been another great feather in his cap for this game.
Yeah, Tristan had the 78-yard pick 6 earlier in this contest, back in the third quarter. Bunch of scoring going on in that third. 3 touchdowns for the Eagles and 2 for Artesia, but Hobbs down by 1 now, 33-32. Second and 10. From the 24, Artesia on the left hash. Back to pass Caceres, 1-step drop, pump fakes, rolls right. He wants to throw. Heads out across the 30, 25, 20, far sideline right, 15 and run out of bounds there. He's going to get just enough or more than a first down, actually. He's going to get 12.
Yeah, he was looking down the field, could not find a receiver, but saw 10 open yards ahead of him and took advantage of that. Got the first down as well as out of bounds.
20 first downs for Artesia right in front of this Artesia bench there. And that's the last, are they going to give him? Yeah, it's going to be at the 12, so they can get another first down at the 2-yard line if they need it. Clock stopped with 8:22 remaining. It looked like Artesia was just happy to keep the clock moving. Probably didn't want to go out of bounds there, just didn't want to take a hard hit. But right. Now they're going to try to milk a touchdown. They can get one to add to their 1-point lead. Twins left, receivers 2 to the right side as well. Caceres back with Galindo in the backfield. Waiting for the shotgun. He fakes the handoff, rolls around the right end, 10, 5, into the end zone for a touchdown. That'll be a 12-yard scamper for Galindo, or make that Caceres. Back-to-back 12-yard runs, this one for a score, and will extend the lead to 7 at 39-32 on the right side of the end zone.
Yeah, it just seemed like the last 2 runs he had was wide open, nobody around him. The defense was too busy working on their own man to notice that the quarterback was on the run.
And he came up hobbled on that couple previous plays before that, and so you kind of wondered if he had the ability to do that run there, but he definitely put his body on the line. And Artesia with some critical extra points. This would get it to an 8-point lead as a man that sets it up for Artesia to kick, and that is Corbin Dominguez. Kick is up, and it is good. You kind of hold your breath on all these PATs. Both teams have missed some. Late flag after the play. That's going to be a personal foul on somebody. The kick is good, and I hope it wasn't the kicker that got knocked down after that one. Let's see what he calls here. Personal foul. Personal foul on Hobbs.
You may be right.
I think he said roughing the kicker. He took a second to bring that up at the end there, but yeah, it'll be a 15-yard penalty on the kickoff. That means that they're going to be kicking from the Hobbs Eagle 45. So that's something to a little bit of a disadvantage for the Eagles. 8:16 remaining in the third. Make it the fourth, 40-32. We're going to keep it right here. These teams are not wasting any time to get back out on the field. Nope. And that extra point is pretty important with an 8-point lead now for Artesia.
And we talked about that, too, the fact that, there was one that went off the end zone, another one that just couldn't make it, blocked. and even one that they tried to make a 2-point conversion, couldn't get that one done either. So Hobbs has fumbled a couple of times as far as getting those PATs, and in the end, those points do add up, and Hobbs needs them all now, and they need to get a 2-point conversion to be able to get back into this and tie it.
72 points on the scoreboard, 40-32 Artesia, up by 8 with 8:16 remaining here in the fourth. As he get the kickoff coming from the 45 due to the personal foul, roughing the kicker. Hobbs picking up a 15-yarder on that one. The kick's going to sail into the end zone midway and then rolls out of the back line, which would be an automatic touchback to the 20. So the Hobbs Eagles now got to get that 2-point conversion if they can score first with the 6 and then add the 2 to make it 8 to tie it up at 40. Yeah, but right now they got to worry about getting to that end zone.
Yeah, well, the good news on that kick was no time went off the clock, and they were going to get the ball at the 20-yard line. So they just have 80 yards to go. They've done this before. They can do it again. It's been a back-and-forth affair. It's just Hobbs needs to answer back after that Artesia touchdown.
Of course, Artesia winning big last week, 42-6 over Carlsbad. Eagles losing by 9 to Lovington, but they want to get that record of 1-1. Back in the shotgun goes Beatty, has 2 with him back there as running back. Split formation. Now they're going to send Kennedy out to the receiving core on the left side, twins right and left. Shotgun to Beatty. 2-step drop in the pocket. The curl route caught at the 27. Heading to the right side, Hatch, and gets down low to the 31. That's an 11-yard pickup there.
Just enough for that first down.
And that's Beatty.
Yes.
Beatty gets 11. And that'll be a first down, as you mentioned, 14 for him, or 14 first downs, I should say. He's got 55 yards in receptions here in the second half, and 98 overall on a total of 6 catches. First and 10 from the 30 and a half. On the right hash, shotgun Beatty, split formation backfield. Twins right, 1 receiver left, deep all across the Artesia front. Screen to the right side, caught at the 30, across the 35, and backpedaling his way to the 39. And that's going to be, looks like an 8-yard pickup on that near sideline in front of the Hobbs bench. That is Justice French.
Simple route, just keeps it moving forward, and you get over 5, and that's always the goal, and 8 is a great pickup.
5 catches for French. He's got 24 yards total. Second down and 2 now from the 39. Handoff around the left end, break it out to the 40, 45, far sideline, 50, 45 of the Artesia Bulldogs at the 40. That's going to be Seamus Wright for 22 yards, the sophomore. That's his second 20-plus run in this second half. He's got 2 carries for 43 yards and another Eagle first down, 15 in the ball game.
Boy, both offenses are just matriculating down the field with sometimes with ease and making it look great.
Hurry up offense for Hobbs. First and 10 from the Artesia 41 left hash. In the backfield, 3 men, including Beatty, waiting for the shotgun. Twins left and right. Pump fake. He wants to fire an over-the-shoulder route to the 15. A big jump and a catch at the 11-yard line. 30-yard pickup. Talk about a big rebound and a dunk hard for the Hobbs Eagles.
And, yeah, that was a great route. Was able to hit him right on the numbers. It would have been better if he would have been in stride, but still a first down for the Eagles, and they're in the red zone.
Beatty, 31 yards. First down, Eagles, 16 first downs in the ball game. Beatty continues to rack them up here in the second half with a total of 86 yards in the second half, and now 129 overall. The handoff along the left side of the 10 to the 5 and down to the 2-yard line. Is that Seamus Wright? Nope, Gonzalez gets it. From the 12 down to about the, looks like the 5, a 7-yard pickup for Gonzalez. He's got 3 carries for 22.
I feel deja vu. It just seemed like just moments ago, Artesia is doing the same thing.
Actually 8 on the carry, 2nd and 2 now. At about the 6-yard line. Back to pass. Beatty going to throw it deep right corner of the end zone. Another leaping catch. Is it going to be a TD? Did he get a foot in or not?
Yes.
Yes, he did. Is that Beatty? We're trying to get all the lights just turned off on us. Trying to get through all this darkness down here. I think that might have been Justice French. I believe that was Justice French who got the touchdown. That's going to be a 4-yard touchdown snag. Or wait a second.
That's Beatty. That's Broderick.
No, wait, no. They're not calling that a TD. The lights went off so quickly. That's what happens here at Watson.
No, it's
no touchdown. They're going to say, I guess he didn't get his foot down is what they're saying. Now we're going to have a timeout called.
No, there is a touchdown.
Wait.
I thought that was for the two-point conversion.
Okay, they did go ahead and call that a touchdown, but the lights went out so quick after that, which I think needs to be talked about a little bit. We had a lot of situations where it's hard to see if the call has been made or not. So they are going to give the Eagles the touchdown. 40-38 the score. Once again, I believe that was going up high for the Eagles. French, because he was in that vicinity at that time. So a 4-yard touchdown catch for French. I hope that's who it was. Either him or Beatty, but looked like French came out of the pile there. And the lights went off immediately at that point. But that touchdown for 6 points, now making it a 2-point ball game. And, of course, the Eagles with just 6-14. I think you got to go for 2 here, Ron.
Oh, absolutely they do. They want to get back into this game. 1 won't do it. They'll still be in the behind. But if they get 2, they'll be able to tie this game. And, I mean, it's not perfect, but it is better than being down by 1.
Boy, they got 4 guys in the backfield now. Stacked up, almost a triple I look here. 1 receiver left, 1 to the right. Beatty going to get the, now they're going to move out of the backfield and give Beatty a chance to do something there by himself. Bring him out in motion. Kennedy, fake the handoff, and we got a whistle at the line of scrimmage. Yeah, there's some flags flying here. Going to be false start by the Hobbs Eagles, which would be a 5-yard penalty. They had 4 for 30 in the first half. 37 here in the second half, so they have a total of 67 yards in penalties, and that's 9 total penalties in this ball game. Not as many as 88 yards last week. A lot closer game this week as the Hobbs Eagles trying to pick off the 2-time defending state champ Artesia. Eagles again have 4 in the backfield. Shotgun to Beatty. He'll turn it fire to the slant route in the end zone, and Artesia almost intercepts it. Knocked out of the arms, though. The last second swiping at the football from behind the receiver for the Eagles and knock it out. Didn't really matter. It was a 2-point conversion, but Gabriel Henry had to play more of a defender than a receiver on that one. But this went out there and punched it out. But Artesia holds on to the 2-point lead after a missed 2-point conversion. 40-38 Bulldogs. 6:14 left, fourth quarter. We're not done yet. Back in 30. A quick return to Watson Stadium. Ty friend Ron Gunner with you. Evie and Tiffany Stuber back at the station tonight as your Hobbs Eagles trail by 2 to Artesia after a missed 2-point conversion. 40-38 the score. 78 points on the scoreboard tonight as a big battle in Watson Stadium for the home opener for the Eagles. Beatty will kick it onside to the 50. A big pile up. Who's going to get the football? It's loose on that far right sideline. Hobbs Eagles have got the football. Brock Beatty on the onside kick to the far left sideline, and they'll have it at midfield. Turnover for Artesia.
And it must have been a turnover because it looked like Artesia jumped all over it, and yet somehow when the dust settled, it was all Hobbs ball.
And if you talk about a sure hands team over the years, Artesia usually has a ton of guys, receivers, running backs that can handle it. But a nice shot there for Beatty, and now the Eagles have it at the 50. They trail by 2. That is the 4th turnover for Artesia, 3 INTs and a fumble. 2 turnovers in the first half, 2 in the second. Eagle football, 1st and 10 for the 50. Twins right, receiver left. Shotgun for Beatty. He's got 2 of his running backs back with him on each shoulder. Good snap, turns and fires the comeback route to the right side, and the ball luckily was thrown behind, bobbled it, juggled it in the backfield was Justin French, and luckily, if that would have been a little bit farther back, Artesia could have knocked that ball up in the air and gone with it for a pick 6, or called it a fumble if it was thrown backward, but just barely thrown forward for French. Just couldn't get a handle on it. He had about 3 guys on top of him anyway.
Yeah, one of those few times when Hobbs has a misconnection on that one. May have worked out for the best, like you said. It did stop the clock, though. Plenty of time, though, for Hobbs in the fourth quarter.
2nd down and 10 from the 50. The handoff up the middle to Kennedy. Bouncing off the defenders, angling left to the 40. Continues to drag for the first down to the 35 in Artesia territory. 15 yards for Amarian Kennedy.
And Kennedy, once again, being able to get those legs underneath him and move it down the field. Got probably another 5 or 7 yards after a hit. and definitely made that look good.
They mark it at the 36 of Artesia at the left hash. Eagle football in Artesia territory. Did stop the clock getting out of bounds with 6:04 remaining. Eagles down by 2, 40-38. Live on Cool 95.7, HobbsAmerica.com. Back up to the line to come the Eagles. 2 receivers right, 1 to the left. 3 in the backfield once again. Beatty waiting for the shotgun. Stacked up running backs on his left shoulder. And now we got looks like a flag, delay of game. The line judge or linesman on the far left sideline in front of the Artesia bench throws the flag. Or actually legal procedure called instead. 5-yard penalty against the Eagles.
I saw the clock down to 0, but either way, 5 yards against Hobbs, and that'll bring them back a little bit to the 41.
Yeah, the linesman on the far left had his arms out there on the delay of game, so I guess that was what the call was. Back him up 5, 1st and 15 for the Eagles at the Artesia 41 on the left hash. 6:04 clock stopped. Twins left, receiver right. Waiting for the shotgun, and they're getting it as Beatty. The delay handoff up the middle, going to the far left, 35. Ball comes across to the 33. And there's Gonzalez again, just keeps chugging forward.
Yeah, made that 2-yard gain into about, 6 or 7.
Yep, 7 yards for Gonzalez. That's his 4th carry, all coming here in the 4th quarter, Ron. He has got 3 7s in a row, plus an 8 to make it now 29 yards on 4 carries. That's over 5, making it all over 7 yards a pop for the guy coming in the 4th quarter.
And if anybody had any questions about Hobbs, this game has definitely proven them that they can play well.
2nd down and 6 from the 33. And here's a penalty marker by the Whitecap way deep in the backfield. Dead ball foul. Procedure against the Eagles. I'm kind of wondering maybe their formation's been out of whack. You're only allowed 4 men in the backfield. Hobbs Eagle fans are getting tired. Coach Stevens with his arms out in the air. He is not happy about the call and is showing his displeasure with the Whitecap official.
I wouldn't doubt that either way. I mean, it is going against him, so of course he wouldn't be happy about that. Does cost him 5, but it didn't cost him a down, so they still have a 2nd and long.
7 penalties in the second half for the Eagles, just 4 in the first half, so the handkerchiefs are starting to hurt them. It's going to 2nd down and 12, as you just said, from the 37-yard line. Left hash again. Twins right, receiver left, 3 in the backfield. Beatty waiting for that shotgun snap. Staggered eye in the back. 2-step drop at the 45. Nails it on the little slant route at the 30, but in and out of the hands of the intended Eagle receiver, Braddock Beatty, incomplete. The little touch hand stuff has got to be pulled down. It would have been in traffic. He might have got his clock clean, but you got to come down with those catches.
But they would have been in 3rd and short. Instead, it's going to be 3rd and long, 3rd and still 12. And, Hobbs still needs to get this score to be able to stay alive in this game.
Clock to 5:19 remaining. It's 40-38 in the 4th quarter. Artesia by 2. This thing has been back and forth here at Watson Stadium. Twins right and left. Beatty will be back with Kennedy now, kind of the formations we saw in the first half, as he stacks up right behind his quarterback. 2-step drop. He's going to fire it down the far left sideline over the shoulder, but barely gets past the outstretched hands of his receiver in stride about the 5-yard line. Could not come down with it. He got his cornerback to beat on that far side and just kind of floating a little bit too hard of a shot there for the Eagle quarterback Beatty. It will be incomplete, unfortunately.
It was about 3 yards ahead of his receiver. Looked great otherwise. I mean, if he would have gotten that to his receiver, it would have very least been a 1st down and goal, if possibly a touchdown. But it's one of those what ifs, and now we have a timeout to think about what we're doing on 4th down.
And we'll keep it right here. Gabriel Henry was the intended receiver, and boy, he had some great speed out there on that far left sideline. Again, 40-38 your score. Artesia by 2 with 5:15 remaining. Hobbs calls the timeout there. What is Coach Stevens talking about with the offense facing a 4th and 12? Critical play call here for Coach Stevens.
I think what he's doing is this. He's saying, look, there's no panic on this one. Yes, we are down by 2, but we have plenty of time. We don't need the touchdown right now. We just need the 1st down. Either we make it through a penalty or we make it through our own effort. But either way, you just go for the 1st down. We're going to go for it on this one. It's a 4-down territory.
You would think maybe Artesia expecting a pass with the more yardage that they have to deal with, but you never know. I mean, you have Kennedy back there kind of waiting, and maybe a delay with a little draw action, get outside possibly and get that 1st down. But I think Artesia might back up a few people just to make sure the Eagles don't get close to that 26-yard line is what they need to get. 12 yards, 4th and 12 after the Eagle timeout. Hobbs fans are loud here now. Both sides getting pretty loud, the orange and black as well. Twins left and right. from the 40, 38-yard line. Shotgun to Beatty by himself. He's going to throw the big long shot. Seam route down the right side. Into the end zone. Is it a catch or
Yes.
not? Touchdown, Eagles. 38 yards. The lights go out again. Who is that receiver in the end zone? Touchdown, Eagles. And that's the man himself. I believe that's Justin French, like we just saw minutes ago. 38 yards for a touchdown.
Either way, Coach Stevens did not back down on that one. He could have been safe enough, take the first down and go for it, but no. Instead, he went for it all, and Artesia wasn't ready for it. Got that touchdown, and man, oh man, the fans are happy.
Couple of touchdowns here for French in the second half. He's got 7 catches in the game and a couple for TDs, 4 and 38 yards. Hobbs up by 4. And the big question is 4 points. 5 really doesn't do much for you, but maybe getting a 2-pointer here, a 2-point conversion gets it to 6, at least a touchdown lead. So that looks like the Eagles are going to try that 2-point conversion after the touchdown for French. Beatty's trying to get his wide receiver set. And that is French on the left side by himself, 2 on the right, back to pass, 3-step drop, 4-step, roll right to the 12, throws it to the right corner of the end zone, up for grabs, and it ricochets off a defender and an Eagle receiver near the back line right, Rodriguez going toe-to-toe. And the ball getting knocked out of his hands by the Artesia defender near that back line on the right side of the end zone, Darius Mendoza, to stop the 2-point conversion. So here we go again. Eagles up by 4, 44-40. We need to take a breather here. 5:07 left. Hobbs down by or up by 4. We'll be back in 30 seconds.
Welcome back to, I was going to say Soldier Field. We are back here at Watson Stadium, and the Eagles and the Bulldogs are making it a good one, up by 4, 44-40, and Artesia is about to get the ball back from a kickoff. Here is Ty Friend with the call.
And this is going to be a sailing one to the far left sideline. Short caught at the 32 by Artesia, far sideline near the Artesia bench, and return to the 38. Big pile up on that far sideline.
Yeah,
I think that was Galindo, the man on the return there. You said Soldier Field. It is Military Appreciation Night, so I guess we'll go with that. Also, First Responder Night here at Watson Stadium. And, boy, talk about a war here on the field.
Yeah.
44-40, 84 points on the scoreboard at Watson, the home opener, and everybody getting their money's worth in this one. Kind of a bitter taste from last week against Lovington, but all coming back with this young crew for the Eagles. They got to play some D, though. 5:04 remaining. 1st and 10 for Artesia at their own 39. Back to passes Caceres in the backfield. He's going to roll right across the 40 on the run. Tucks it to the 45. To the first down marker. Might be shy. He went out of bounds. Almost ran into one of his coaches on that far right sideline. He might be short by about a half a yard. We'll have to wait and see.
At the very least, 1 yard. But, yes, he's short about 1 yard on that one. So, yeah, but there is no quit in either one of these teams, and it's one of the reasons why this is such a fun game to watch.
That'll be a 9-yard pickup for Caceres. He had a 40-yarder earlier in this half, a 24, a 15, and a 12-yard touchdown run. His only TD of the game, at least in the running category. And that'll be Artesia now 2nd and 1 from their own 48, trailing by 40 your Hobbs Eagles. Hobbs trying to get to 1-1. Artesia trying to go to 2-0. Twins rights and left, and for Artesia. Shotgun to Caceres. Pump fakes, rolls right, steps up in the pocket, folds to the right side, to the 45, runs it to the first down marker, and just barely angles it across. He gets about 2 to the 50 and the first down.
Made something out of nothing on that one. Houdini was able to escape just in time to get that first down and move the markers.
That'll be 21 first downs for Artesia. Eagles have 17 of their own, so pretty close there. Right at midfield on the right hash for Artesia. 1st and 10, 4:48 remaining. He did get out of bounds to stop the clock. Hobbs up by 4, 44-40.
We were talking about the fact that, whoever had the ball last, the last possession, last touchdown, could probably win this game. And this is pretty much the case. If Artesia gets this score, it could be tough for Hobbs to come back.
Twins left, twins right. Caceres waiting for the shotgun. Gives a late delay to Galindo. He scampers up the middle and diving over the top of people, rolling a somersault across the 45. Not going to for sure know where they're going to actually mark the knee down, but they're going to give him quite a bit. Make it 7 for Galindo. Been kind of quiet in the second half. Does have a touchdown of 1 yard. That was his he had 2 double-digit carries for 10 and 6. That was for 7. Second down and 3 now from the Hobbs Eagle 43. Twins left and right. Caceres back in the shot again. 2-step drop back to the 50. He's going to get flushed out to the right side hash. Chucks it on his back foot to the out route to the 35, but it's knocked out of the arms of the receiver. They got a flag down over there on the far right. That means a body foul. That's probably going to be a PI.
Yeah, or at very least a hold, but either way, it looks like it could be probably first down.
You got it, Ron. A holding foul over that far right side. The man trying to get open was Ethan Kahn, their leading receiver. That'll be a 15-yard penalty. No, I'm sorry, holding. That's 10 yards.
Right.
What do they need? They needed. How many did they need on that?
They needed 2.
Yeah, so they got a +8 on that one. 10-yard penalty against the Eagles. That'll move the chains for Artesia. That's their 22nd first down. That one yellow handkerchief aided. Mark it at the Hobbs Eagle 32, middle of the field, with 4:11 remaining here in the fourth quarter. Can Hobbs hold on to a 4-point lead? 44-40. I would think if Artesia could score here, this game ain't over yet.
No, there's still 4 minutes left, like you said. Hobbs can do it a lot. Both sides, though, have been scoring with very little time on the clock being taken off.
Trips right, receivers to the left. They throw the screen to the left side of the 30. Across to the 25 and diving his body forward. It's Galindo. He might be close to another first down.
Let's see where they put it. It's going to be very, very close. But just inches away, looks like.
9 yards for Galindo.
Yep, so very short.
He's got a total of 7 catches in this game. Quick hurry-up offense, second and less than a yard at the 22 of the Eagles. 3 receivers right. The chains are taking an hour.
Actually, no,
they gave him a first.
Yep, they went ahead and gave him the first after all.
Well, this chain crew has been very late and not getting the play set up right. They're going to go up the middle with the ball now, the left hash. And they're going to want to run some clock, too, because if Artesia scores, they want to give Hobbs enough chance to have another big series. That was a run by Caceres, and he's going to plow himself ahead for about 5 on that one.
Yeah, I think the coaching staff realized that if they score really quickly, it'll leave Hobbs with enough time to be able to come back and make it a ball game. But, yeah, they're going to go ahead and slow down, see if they can eat more clock as much as they can as they're in the red zone.
Second down and 5, 3:20 left in the ball game on the left hash at the 17 of the Eagles. Oh, they get a late guy off the field. He was in the game with 12. They probably should have flagged that. Back to pass Caceres with the screen to the right side. Overthrows his receiver ahead of him as he tried to get it out to that right sideline on the right hash to Caleb Murray, incomplete. He was a slot back on that one.
Yeah, Murray was just extending himself too far. He would run off to the one side, and either that or the throw wasn't quite where it needed to be, but tried to reach back for it, couldn't get his fingers on it, and it falls incomplete.
The Hobbs Eagle cornerback on that far sideline had a big gap there, so no chance to pick that off or anything. I believe, is that Amarian Kennedy out there on the far sideline? Nope, not number – I thought it said number 8 out there. That's number 6. Those numbers are starting to curl up on me there. That's Mirari Orozco. Third down and 5 from the 17-yard line. Shotgun, back to pass. Caceres fires it down the middle on the post route. The ball ricochets around at about the 3. Hobbs had a chance to pick it off the hands, too, of Ethan Kahn for Artesia. And about 2 or 3 guys had an opportunity back deep that time. Tristan Davis was back there. Also another linebacker for the Eagles in the vicinity. Chance for Gustavo Diaz-Castro. I even think another guy had a chance, Mirari Orozco too, but lots of people in the area. Fourth down and 5 for Artesia. Is this the last hurrah for the Bulldogs? The Hobbs Eagles on the sideline trying to get the fans to get loud on this one.
And expect to see, looks like they're going to go for the field goal possibly, but at the very least they're probably going to try to see if we can get an offside to get that 5 yards.
Twins left and right. Caceres get the shotgun snap. 2-step drop. He's waiting. He's throwing the slam right. It's intercepted at the 10-yard line. The Eagles bring it across to the 16, and that's going to put the offensive stop on Artesia. Trying to see who picked that one off. It's Tristan Davis' second INT in the game. Earlier it was a pick 6.
Exactly, and even though that was not a pick 6, it was timely. Of course, there's never a bad time to get an interception, but that one stopped a drive that could have been a winner for Artesia. And now Hobbs has the ball, maybe deep inside their territory, but still, it does stop that drive for Artesia and puts the Hobbs Eagles in the driver's seat.
5 turnovers in the game, 4 interceptions for Caceres, and a fumble for the Bulldogs as well. Hobbs has got to do a good job of getting the first downs here to get this clock moving as much as possible with 3:01 remaining. Eagle football near the 15 on the left hash, deep in their own part of the field though. Shotgun, Beatty hands it off behind him to the right side around the end of the 15. Putting his head down and get down hard to the 19. That'll be about 4 yards. And the man with the football for the Eagles was Seamus Wright, the sophomore. And looks like they might have given him 5 on that one, so good for the sophomore to get that. That's his lowest total of the night. He had a 21-yarder, a 22-yarder, and a 5-yarder on that one for a total of 48 yards on 3 carries. And how would you like to be that guy with a 16-yard average with just 3 carries here in the second half?
Exactly. Plus, I love the fact that Beatty went ahead and handed it off and then became a blocker, went out and tried to block for him, so gave him a little extra yardage. And, yeah, with the run stopped, Artesia had to stop the clock with the timeout just so they can keep that momentum away from Hobbs.
And how I liked the handoff was kind of a pin behind the waist that time, behind his hip, I should say, and that gave a little bit of a delay so Artesia doesn't know who has the football at that point and trying to key on somebody, but still ended up being 5 yards. Good job for the sophomore Seamus Wright to get outside on the right in front of the Hobbs Eagle bench. Back after the timeout, 2:55 remaining. Eagles up by 4, 44-40. Definitely do not want to pass the ball in the flats.
No.
Because Artesia does have some good defenders out there on the sides. Shotgun going to be coming for Beatty. He's got 2 blackers in the back with him. He's going to send one to the left to make it doubles on the left side and 2 receivers right on the stack. Beatty gets the shotgun, tucks, stutter step in the backfield, breaking a tackle up the middle, 20, 25, 27-yard line. Is he going to get a first down or not? We'll see.
Yes, he is.
He's going to get 6 for the first. Perfect run there for the quarterback, Beatty. Beatty has 2 carries for 21 here in the second, or make that 6 carries total for 48. And that'll be at the 26. That will be a first down for the Eagles. That is their 18th of the ball game. They're going to take some time now. After they remark the yard markers, they let the clock run, and that's at the 26-yard line, up by 4. Artesia with 1 timeout remaining, the same for the Eagles. Twins right, receiver left. Beatty takes a shotgun with the draw play up the middle. Angling left, 30, 35, down to the 39-yard line. That'll be another first down, make it 10.
Yep. And that will move the sticks once more. And, you know, I believe if they get 1 more first down, I think they can call this a game, but they still need to make sure that they do not lose sight of this game and, of course, lose sight of the ball.
Senior Ricky Gonzalez has got himself now 5 carries after that one. 39 yards on the ground. And that will be number 19 on the first downs. Clock to 2 minutes, and we don't stop it like the NFL. It's going to keep running here with 1:55 and going now.
Exactly. No 2-minute warning on this, son.
Now we got the official stopping the action here. They're resetting the clock again. We've had that happen about 4 times tonight. Coach Stevens was going, what the heck? Now the fans are booing the situation. Bunch of coaches out on the field, and now they're going to restart the clock with 2:15.
Okay, well, you know, that may or may not be advantageous at the end, but I want to get this done correctly, and we have about just over 2 minutes to go before this game is over.
First down and 10 for the Eagles at their own 39. 2 minutes remaining now. Twins right, receiver left. It's going to be Beatty back with 2 of his blockers back there, running backs, of course. Delay handoff up the gut, and got Kennedy with 2 guys on his back. It spun around at the 44.
And yet still
no, it's
made
Gonzalez.
About 4 or 5 yards.
Actually, it's 5 yards of Gonzalez now as he continues his numbers in this game. 44 total yards with 6 carries. Second down and 5 now. Hobbs not having to have any quickness here and getting the plays going with 1:27, the ball in their court, as you could say in the basketball arena. 44-40. 4-point lead for the Eagles to try to run their record of 1-1. But Ron, more importantly, what is this for home wins against Artesia recently?
It is the last 3, and like I said, they haven't lost to them since 2016. So now to be 4 wins in a row against this Artesia Bulldog team, That's hard to believe.
He snapped to Beatty, pitches it left, and going down to the backfield to 40. Dangerous play that time. We saw some bad snaps against Lovington, not the place you want to have it happen, and then going down hard and limping after the play, after the pitch was Seamus Wright. I don't like the pitch call on that one because that was in the backfield where somebody could be up there blitzing and take that ball in for 6. This game would be over, and not the way that you want to end the contest.
Yeah, not a perfect call, but still didn't hurt Hobbs nearly as much as it could have. But it does mean it's 3rd and 10, and there's still some clock left with 33 to remaining. I'm surprised that Artesia hasn't called a timeout.
3rd and 10 from the 39. 3 in the backfield. 3 running backs in the backfield, all ready to block for Beatty. They just want to get the victory dance here as he nails down in the backfield. That's going to be a 6-yard loss, but who cares? Eagles going to get a 4-point win if that clock continues around, which it will. Artesia not going to burn their last timeout, or are they? No, they're letting it run.
Nope,
that's going to be it. The Hobbs Eagles get that record to 1-1 as they win 44-40 over Artesia with 84 points on the scoreboard. Your Hobbs Eagles victorious opening night here at Watson Stadium, at least the home opener, as your Hobbs Eagles get the 4-point victory. Boy, Ron, we burned a lot of gas in this one just watching this game. Been exciting from the start.
Yes.
And, of course, been some turnovers on both sides, but both teams made a competitive and exciting contest here at Watson Stadium.
Exactly. There was no boring times at all, and even when there was a few, it was always overlapped by the fact that each side was coming back strong. They were doing their best. I think they played their hardest, and you know what? I am surprised that Artesia fell short on that one, but of course we're very happy that Hobbs, after last week's very, very weird play that they had the first half against Lovington, came back strong, learned from their mistakes. We knew they would. They definitely showed that they did, though.
So both teams get the handshake line. Hard-fought battle for both squads, 44-40. Hobbs now 1-1, and Artesia is 1-1 as well. We'll take a 4-minute break as we get you the Hobbs Eagle postgame show on Cool 95.7, HobbsAmerica.com. Don't leave us yet. Welcome back to Watson Stadium. Your Hobbs Eagles victorious here. The home opener, 44-40 over Artesia to go to 1-1 on the season. Artesia drops to 1-1. Of course, the Bulldogs beat Carlsbad big last week. Your Hobbs Eagles lost to Lovington, but that is all an erased memory for the Hobbs Eagles. This was a big victory over a two-time defending state champ in the Bulldogs.
Exactly, and Ken Stevens, who was a really good coach in Eunice, came down here, wanted to prove himself, and he has done it against Artesia. 3 wins in a row, 4 overall for the Hobbs Eagles, and they haven't lost here since 2016 against this team. Bulldogs came strong. I mean, they were making some great plays. They were running it down the field. It looked like it was going to be back and forth. It was, and it looked like Artesia was going to possibly get that last drive in when a Tristan Davis interception in the red zone was able to stop that drive, and Hobbs was able to get back into it, drive themselves, and be able to get the winning drive. And, of course, that helped them as far as getting the victory. And, once again, it is amazing what a difference a week makes. Last week, Hobbs was just running all over the place. They were having trouble with snaps. They were just having all kinds of trouble. This week they cleaned it up, what we thought they could do, and they did it definitely against this tough, tenacious Artesia defense, offense as well. And even though back and forth, Hobbs gets the victory on that one, and it is well deserved.
In fact, you mentioned Tristan Davis with that late interception, but he also had the earlier one in the second or fourth quarter where third quarter, 78-yard pick six for the Eagles to get on the scoreboard again. And, just so much big-time efforts by so many guys out there tonight to get that win.
Exactly. If we had to give anybody the game ball, it would probably be Tristan Davis, simply because without his efforts, Hobbs would have struggled to get – they were close in this game, but they would not have been able to get the victory. And I think Tristan Davis is the reason why tonight, anyway, Hobbs Eagles get this victory, and they definitely needed it, 1-1. And, you want to start your season off right. They didn't do it last week, but this week they came back strong and proved all the skeptics, all the critics, that they said, you know what, they are worthy enough to be in the 6A, and they are definitely worthy enough to win tonight.
And what about the hikes that are the center exchange snapper with the quarterbacks last week? Definitely was not where it needed to be over the head. We had some punts problems. We had some safeties caused by bad snaps and some fumbles because of that. Completely erased. Kestner stepping up as a starter again at the snapper here in this game at the center position. So definitely clean that up. I don't think we saw any mishandles from the snap tonight.
Maybe one. That was it. And even so, last week we had a bad punt. Didn't have that this week. We had a good, we had several times when the offense was having a great position on the field, and they made that the most. In fact, there was only one time, if I remember correctly, that Hobbs wasn't unable to take advantage of a turnover. Could not move the ball, but overall, whenever they did get those advantages, they took the most out of it and were able to get them. The only thing now we can talk about is the fact that they were having struggles with their PAT. That's what made the game even closer, was the fact that they had a couple of them that just didn't make it through the uprights. One was blocked, one hit the upright, and one just was hiked too high. They tried to get a 2-point conversion out of it. Didn't work. They actually had 2 more 2-point conversions that also were knocked out of the fingertips of the player from the defense. So defense for Artesia definitely came into play. They were getting it close, especially on those defensive short plays that Hobbs wanted to get those 2-point conversions and just could not get it because of the Bulldogs defense.
So final score, 44-40. Your Hobbs Eagles with the win over Artesia. 84 points on the scoreboard in this one. We're going to take another 2-minute break and come back with all the stats in this contest for both teams. You're listening live to the Hobbs Eagle postgame show on Cool 95.7 and HobbsAmerica.com on the internet. Welcome back to Watson Stadium. Hobbs Eagles victorious 44-40 over Artesia. Both teams now with 1-1 records on the season. And Ron, let's take a look at the numbers in this game. Lots of people involved on both sides offensively. Boy, everybody getting involved in this one. Leading rusher for the Artesia Bulldogs was Galindo, 12 carries for 147. He had that big 80-yard run in the first half and a 16 and a 10-yarder in the second. He had 107 at the half and only 40 in the second half. So definitely doing some big things for them, triple digits for Galindo. Also, the quarterback Caceres went 15 carries for 120 yards. He finished with a 12-yard touchdown run in the second half. Was kind of injured there in the fourth quarter, but still had a couple big runs even after that. A 40, a 15, a 24, and a 12 in the fourth quarter. So he definitely was putting it on the turf there for Artesia. Their total numbers for rushing in this game, 267 on the ground there for Artesia in this ball game. Lots of receivers involved in the game as well. 7 getting catches in the contest. Galindo, again, coming out of the backfield, 7 for 69. Kahn, 5 for 54 in the game. He had a 5-yard touchdown catch. Galindo had 1 for 17 for a TD as well. Fuentes had a catch for 12 yards. It was Byers, 4 for 42. Lopez had 2 catches for 18. A couple other guys that came down with catches too. Bryce Parra finished up with 1 for 15. And one other player with 12 yards in this ball game. 222 yards in receptions for Artesia. They finished shy of 500 yards of total offense at 489. Quarterback Caceres was 21 of 43 in the passing department. So 21 receptions for Artesia in this game. Not a lot of penalties in the second half at all. 4 for 21 in the first half. I don't have them down for anything in the second half,
right.
So they cleaned up their handkerchief problems there. Not for a lot in the first half either, but definitely kept it pretty clean football, at least for penalties for Artesia. Their big problem, though, was turnovers. 4 interceptions for the Hobbs Eagle defense. 2 of those from Tristan Davis, including the pick 6 for about 78 yards. They also recovered a fumble. So, hey, when you get that against Artesia, that's saying something. A 2-time back-to-back defending state champs.
Exactly, especially when the last one was a game-possible winning drive that Artesia had gone down the field, got it inside the red zone.
And running the clock, too.
So we were very concerned about the fact that will Hobbs have enough time to be able to get the ball back, be able to drive down the field, and be able to win the game? Or will they be able to stop this Artesia team? Well, that point, that's when Tristan Davis says, you know what, I got this. And he was able to finally get an interception, a second one for the game, like you said. He had one just a moment ago where it got off his fingertips, so he didn't quite get that one, but he did line himself in the next play and be able to get that interception, and that sealed the deal for the Hobbs Eagles. They just had to get the clock down to 0, and they did that as well. So, yeah, everything worked out, unlike last week when everything seemed to go wrong, as the coach said. Everything was going wrong for him. This time around went right for the Hobbs Eagles.
So Tristan Davis getting half of the 4 interceptions for 2. The other guys that picks them off in this ball game, Adrian Mora and Marari Orozco. So great showing for the Hobbs Eagles in the secondary, taking care of business defensively against the Bulldogs. Let's look at the Hobbs Eagle offense now. The man of the hour in terms of rushing was Amarian Kennedy. Triple digits tonight, just like last week. He had 101. Tonight, 145 unofficially on 9 carries in the contest, 7-yard and 3-yard touchdown runs in the second half for his scoring on the ground. Definitely a big number for the Hobbs Eagles in this contest. Beatty, the quarterback, 5 for 42. 24 and 14 were his 2 longs in this one. Seamus Wright, sophomore, had 7 carries for 42 yards. Let me go back to Beatty. He was 7 for 42 total in terms of rushing. Seamus Wright now, 4 carries for 48 yards, all coming late in the second half, so he definitely stepped up. In fact, his first 2 carries of the second half, 21 and 22 yards respectively. Big time putting the team on his shoulders there in the second half. And Gonzalez had a great game as well, all coming in the second half on the ground. 6 carries for 44 yards and a long of 10 yards. So lots of guys participating in the run game. Hobbs finishing up with 279 yards of rushing offense in this ball game. Let's go to the passing department now. Leading pass receiver was Beatty, not the quarterback, but Braddock Beatty, the receiver, brother of the quarterback. 7 for 133 yards and catches. He had ones of 44, 35, and 11 in the second half, and a 23-yard touchdown snag in the first half. So big game for Braddock Beatty from his brother, of course, the quarterback. He was only a guy in triple digits. French getting a couple of touchdowns in late in this ball game for 438 yards. He had 7 catches for 66 in the ball game. Other guys getting catches, Kennedy coming out of the backfield, 2 for 14. Henry, 1 for 4, including a touchdown on that one. Rodriguez, 1 for 2. And last but not least, Chavarria, 1 for 6. Beatty was 19 of 36 in this game for 225 yards. The Hobbs Eagles finished up with a total of 504 yards of offense in the contest. 279 in the ground game, 225 in the passing department. These unofficial, lots of guys getting involved in this contest. Now the penalties. It was okay for a while. Second half, we started to see some more handkerchiefs falling to the carpet here. Hobbs finished up with 12 for 87. Now that's 1 less than last week. But at the same time, when you get a W, I think the handkerchiefs kind of get out of your mind, don't they?
Exactly. I mean, you want to work on those penalties, but if they don't affect the game in the end, you're good with it, especially when they don't have any lousy little mistakes. And they did have a couple of interference calls or personal foul calls, but they were balanced to each other. So both teams were losing their cool a little bit. Kind of want to not do that, but when it doesn't affect your team as much, you go ahead and let that slide a little bit.
So basically, there's the offense for your Eagles. Again, 504 unofficially pass rush combined. Hobbs did have a couple of turnovers, some interceptions by the same guy out there for Artesia, which was kind of ironic, but he happened to be in the right place at the right time more than once in that game. What was his name? Forgot that name on that one, but we'll come back on that here in a minute when I find it. But regardless, Hobbs recovered from those and ended up having 3 more turnovers taken away from Artesia than what the Bulldogs did against the Eagles.
McNeil.
Yeah, there you go. McNeil was the guy on that one. Again, so those are your stats in this contest. Oh, by the way, first downs, Eagles had a total of 19, and there was a 22 for Artesia. But, hey, first downs don't get up on the scoreboard like the points do. The Eagles getting the 44-40 win. Ron, you got some other games around the area that you might want to give us some updates on?
Well, sure. We'd love to give you all the Lee County stats, starting with Tatum's game against Rama. It ended up being a blowout, 52-0, so that was not even in question as far as that game goes. So Tatum wins that one easily. Eunice also big win over Estancia.
There you go.
And that is 62-12 was the final on that one. So both of those probably Mercy Rule finals. Jal does not win on this one against Santa Rosa. They were on the road, and they lose that one by 17, 37-20 against Santa Rosa. And, yes, Lovington came in. They're in the 5A now, and they're doing strong against Portales, who they played last year against in the championship game and won that one big time, 30-7 against Portales. So the Rams lose that one. Lovington goes to 2-0, and they're looking strong so far in their new district.
Of course, next week the Hobbs Eagles will have the contest as they take on Roswell. Now, Roswell beat Alamogordo in the first week last week, 41-4. Actually, tonight. They started tonight. I'm not sure why they didn't play last week, but 41-14 was the victory tonight. A 27-point win for the Roswell Coyotes. Of course, they were the championship last year against Artesia, so they're a very potent team and definitely one to be reckoned with every year. They always like to play the 6A squads as best they can, and do a very good job there. They will host at the Wool Bowl in that contest, so that's definitely one to look forward to. But kind of weird that they only had one game so far. I'm not sure why they didn't start the season, but they played tonight and winning again 41-14. So next week, Wool Bowl, Hobbs will play at 7 o'clock.
Yeah, I got one more update for you real quick. Happened yesterday was Hobbs JV. They are 2-0 in the season. They faced Clovis JV, and the final score was 41-6. It was 35-0 at halftime, so it went to Mercy Rule in the third quarter. Hobbs was able to get 6 more points after Clovis was able to get 6 and wrap that one up 41-6. So 2-0 for the Hobbs JV. They're doing strong things, and next week they're going to be playing on the road against Jal. And this rate looks like they're going to be 3-0, but you never know because, like we said, we thought that Hobbs would be strong, but we didn't know how strong they were going to be against this really spectacular Artesia game, our team. And they proved us wrong, or proved the critics wrong. Hobbs was able to come out with a victory, and I think next week that could happen against, who knows, Jal, Hobbs, you never know until the end.
Of course, Eagles win the yardage battle 504-489 unofficially, and the scoreboard battle 44-40 over the Artesia Bulldogs. Again, next week, the Eagles in Roswell as they'll take on the Coyotes there at the Wool Bowl. We'll have the pregame show around 6:40, the kickoff at 7. Hope you enjoyed Hobbs Eagle football on Cool 95.7 and HobbsAmerica.com. Ron Gunner, myself, Ty Friend, thanks to both Evie and her sister Tiffany back at the station tonight. Have a great Labor Day weekend. We also like to, again, salute all the first responders and military and veterans out there. That was what this was all about tonight, as we give a salute out to them, and hopefully they have a great Labor Day weekend as well. Until next Friday night, have a good one out there from Watson Stadium.